Hello, everyone. Hello. I'm still sick, so you're still going to hear my voice kind of out. I'm going on to week 3, but I'm getting better. Just a dry cough, but it's getting better. I'm not as sick as I was last week. I hope everyone can hear me. I was just waiting a few minutes to see if more people would come in. There's been a lot going on this week, and I guess news, politics, and other stuff going on. But lately, it's been politics. Excuse me. I've been focused on the politics and I'm not politically savvy or anything, but I definitely follow it and provide my commentary. I'll upload some videos and stuff just because it's just super interesting right now, right? Yeah, there's a lot going on. Hey, Irby, thank you for stopping by. Hit that like button, people. But yeah, Tina, I've never been into politics, but it's just so much going on. I mean, I know we need to take it super serious, but it's like, what control do I have over anything? Hey, Fulana, what's up? Yeah, my voice, but actually, it's getting better because before I couldn't talk. Every few seconds, I would have to unmute just because I was going to cough. But it's still like this because I haven't been taking medicine. I've been trying to get my immune system to get me better, but we're getting old and it's not working. So I started taking medicine like the beginning of this week, and it's just taking a long time for it to get better. But yeah, it's like I want to take everything seriously with what's going on. Um, the current administration is kind of is everything that's going on is kind of comedic to me, right? It's kind of funny because I'm just like, is this real? Or like I've never really paid attention to it before. Were they this how would I call it? Just like I don't not ghetto, but like very unprofessional. It seems. It just seems like this administration is just doing stuff backwards. Even when they have their hearings, the Senate hearings. Oh my God, it's like a show. It's like watching Love and Hip Hop. It's like watching the Real Housewives. It's like you're watching a reality TV show, and you're here to laugh and see how grimy it can get and how much people are going to do stuff to each other. And this week, with Iran, what's going on with Iran, how Spain wants to pull out. Yeah, there's like reality TV, how Spain wants to pull out, like although don't want to participate, in other words, how North Korea said they are going to participate and help Iran out in any way they can. Jasmine Crockett losing her bid for that Senate seat for Texas. And no, I'm actually better, Blood Moon. Thank you for stopping by. I'm actually better. And Jasmine blaming it on, some cheating going on over there, but Hispanics are saying that they were the ones that did it because of something she said a while ago. So it's a little funny. Politics, yeah, I got some politics in there, Blood Moon, and maybe some other stuff that you could turn it into something that would get you interested, or tell me what you want me to talk about, who's cheating. Jasmine Crockett claimed the election was rigged, so they cheated her out of that seat. Hey, Lord, thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. So, yeah, there's a lot going on, and I uploaded a lot of videos, so I'm hoping that my computer will cooperate with me since I did so much. Xtina always cheating. It was rigged to let her run. I didn't care for her, and then I started realizing that they said that her whole gimmick, I want to call it a gimmick, like, her whole attitude is fake. Like, she didn't grow up like the way she tries to portray it, just like AOC. They try to act like they're these girls from the hood, and they had a struggle, and they came up through the ranks and they got into politics, blah blah blah. But really, there was some privileged late women. They grew up kind of privileged. They grew up in an upper suburban lifestyle. So it's not even regular suburban, like an upper suburban. That damn near rich. So I don't get it. He said yes, and I'm older, so it's worse. But when you're still grumpy old lady. So yeah, so with Jasmine, maybe I'll start off with her since that's a little ratchet with Miss Jasmine Crockett, and so we can see why she didn't win that Senate seat, and she lost to somebody named Tallarico, who is like almost like Charlie Kirk, but from Texas. Like, he went to seminary school and all that, so he's a goody two shoes. In other words, he's a good old boy, goody two shoes from Texas. Single mom, all that other crap. But Tallarico, it sounds, I thought it was Italian, but it sounds like he's white. You mean AOC is not from the Bronx? No, she's not from the Bronx. Nowhere near the Bronx, Irby. She lied. But let me start with my first video. And let me see, which way should I start? Should I start it at the end? Yeah, maybe I'll start it at the end. That's what I'll do. Give me a second so I can find it, because I uploaded so many. Miss Jasmine, and now I'm not gonna be able to find it. I found one. That's two. Oh, okay, yeah, I could start here. Wait a minute, there's another one. No, yeah, I'm gonna start here and then look for the other video because I'm missing a video. Let me see. Yeah, let me start here. Politics don't matter when they're eating the. Oh gosh. And the ones that claim transparency are the ones eating those babies, Lord. Give me a second.
No one. I gotta get through this. 6 years ago, no one believed that I could become a state representative.
Hey, Roy Chess, thank you for stopping by. Hola. So, yeah, she was in tears. She lost it. Jasmine AOC grew up in a nice upper suburban neighborhoods, by Moon. Not even suburban. I live in the suburbs. I'm not, my income bracket wasn't nowhere near to where their parents were and the way they grew up and the kind of education that they got, They were upper middle class. Jasmine Crockett actually went to like one of the best schools in the country. So, she's just a fraud. They're both frauds to me because they always, people always try to use the struggle like a badge, like wear like a badge of honor. But yeah, so she cried and she lost the election, and there were some people who were upset with her, or I guess it was like a touche type of thing with her. So let me play this one. You know what? Let me do fair use so I don't get in trouble. Fair use, fair use. Uh, we're going to now watch this video of why possibly Jasmine Crockett actually lost.
No. What do you mean? Jasmine not going to Congress for Texas? Oh, Crockett. A girl can only dream. Listen, Jasmine, what was that one quote that you said? Anything. Oh, yeah. We done picking cotton. You can't pay us enough to go find a plantation. Yeah, you remember that. I remember that. How could I forget? See, 6.5 million Hispanic voters in Texas, which is like the majority of the electoral vote here in the state. And you mean to tell me that you think that we're still picking cotton? Hell no, girl. Hell no. That's why you lost. Because you're fucking racist. I'm gonna tell you something real quick. If you would have pitched that in 2002, 2001, you probably could have gotten like a good drift. However, that was people in the past. Those kids that I grew up with that were chasing a field every summer, every spring with their parents, moving school to school because they had to go pick fruit with their parents, are now grown up. And guess what? Do you think that they're gonna go back to picking fields when they have a citizenship? No. As a matter of fact, they're not even looking to vote for blue people with blue policies that put their parents in fields. Fuck no. Some of them are real estate investors, business owners, they're passing down generational wealth, and you think that they're picking cotton. You out of your goddamn mind. I'm gonna remind you real quick, the majority of the Latino voters for Trump here in Texas live in the southern border. You know what happened in the southern border? No. Why? Because neither you nor Kamala have the balls to go down there. I'm gonna tell you what happened. Along the Texas border, poverty levels are sky high as it is. When you import a bunch of riffraff from third world countries and they end up in those southern border towns, they strain the resources for those people. Those people can't even survive. And then you're bringing in all this fucking riffraff with a CBP1 app Ticketmaster to the United States and you leave them there. That's why our governor had to ship all those fucking people out. And then y'all complain, oh, you were shipping on. Yeah, because you guys brought them here. You blue people brought them here to Texas and the southern towns were suffering. Not only that, but there was violence across the border in Tamaulipas, in Reynosa, all those cartels fighting to bring all those people over here. Why? Because they were profiting billions of dollars. And your ass still thinks that we're picking cotton? Take that. No Congress for Jasmine. As a matter of fact, why don't you go run for Missouri? What did you do in Missouri that they don't want you to run for them? Oh, I know. Exactly. Because people in Missouri see right through your bullshit, and so do we in Texas. Keeping Texas red. Oh.
So when I saw this video, I'm like, so the Hispanics are the ones that made sure she didn't win the election because there's 6.5 million of them here in Texas, and you know it would have been predominantly Mexicans. Like, come on, why would? Let me see what Blum said. She said, why would a predominantly white and Hispanic community vote for a black woman? Those people cannot be in charge of anything. Jesus Christ. Excuse me. But, you know, she was there for a long time. She's made a name for herself in the House on Blood Moon, and she felt confident enough that she was going to win. And I saw her campaigning really hard. I thought she had a good chance, and apparently she did too. And unfortunately, you know, she didn't make it. And according to this young lady, it was because of what she said, which I'm going to play that video in a minute. This lady will be deported next time this year. You think so? I don't think so. There was another video from another Hispanic that I wanted to play, but she really went in. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to get in trouble for playing that video. Lord said, this is childish. There have been only 4 black people who has won the Senate race in the south of the Mason-Dixon line. But isn't that, we live in America, you know, that's how it is, Lord, especially in the South, you know. They don't believe in diversity down here, so they're going to make sure that they are, you know, one of the good old boys or the good old girls, because I don't even think there's really any Hispanics on there either. I mean, I did see that, I don't know if he's Somalian as well, too, along with the other lady. but the one that was interrogating Christy Nome. But I was like, okay, they got a few people here and there, but for the most part, it looks the way it has been looking for the past 300 years. So nothing's really changed. That's how they want to keep it. And Irby had said that what he said? He said Cardi B endorsed her. I wasn't even aware of that. Yeah, the South with an F, Irby, the South. You know how it is in your neck of the woods, like Florida. I don't think Florida's ever seen a black one win the Senate seat in Florida. And I didn't realize that Florida was so super racist as well. But let's see. Lord said, I'm going to send ICE to Blood Moon's job to back her up. We have too many Dominicans in this country. They're definitely looking for Hispanics, but it seems like their focus is Mexicans, I guess. And, you know, she said that she voted red. So he's targeting people that look like her, but apparently, you know, she doesn't care. Yes, I will let ICE know if I find the illegals. Blood Moon, you're terrible. Okay, let me just post the link down here. Nobody's obligated to come up, but I'm going to put it here. Then I'm going to try to pin it. And then I'm going to play that video. That video that I guess pissed Hispanics off. Oh, Lord, I hate when I do this. Let's see. Every time I try to pin it, it takes me to the StreamYard. Hold on. Okay, here we go. All right. So, yeah, let me play the other video. And I saw the video. I didn't think that. I guess she was referring to Hispanics, I guess in a derogatory way, but I didn't really I saw the video. I didn't pay attention to it, but let me play that video. Where are we at? Okay, here we go.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands. You're not. We done picking cotton. We are. You can't pay us enough to find a plantation.
I know that's right.
So I had to go around the...
So I said, I know that's right. I don't know why she correlated slavery on a plantation to the immigrants who worked on the farms to pick strawberries or fruits of us. You know, like, I guess that was a bad comparison. And I guess it offended the people who mostly work on those farms, which would be more than likely of Mexican descent. So it seems like they were very quiet, but they showed out, you know, in the polls and made sure that they didn't vote for her. And I didn't realize that there were 6.5 million Hispanics in Texas. And I know out of that 6.5, 6 million of those have to be Mexican, because the majority out here is Mexican. And, you know, the ones that are not, they're located in small pockets throughout Texas, so they don't make up that big of a demographic. So I guess they really didn't like her. And they said that she really put out toward the Hispanics, like she was really, you know, trying to focus on their issues and things like that. You saw she was talking about to Christy Nome and stuff regarding ICE and all that. So it seemed like it, but, you know, let me see. Irby said Jasmine was privileged Huxtable kid, basically fake accent. Yeah, I think she was even a little bit better off than the Huxtables, Irby. But yeah, she faked it. You know, people like to put struggle, like I said, like it's a badge. Like, yeah, I came from the hood, I came from the projects. Like, you know, the fact that you got out of it is the come up, right? That's the badge right there. But, you know, people try to glorify growing up in the hood. She compared them because the labor is similar. Like Xtina tried to make me labor every night. It's like a Diddy party. It's not similar. Slavery is different, you know? Like, I don't know. I guess it felt like a slap in the face to them. The people picking fruits get paid but very little. So it is similar to slavery. But their kids get to go to college and don't spend their lives blaming the white man. Okay. Whoa, what? Yo, Tina, he's going in on you, and you know I would get him for definitely for defamation of character there. Kissing. Oh man, but yeah, she felt like she got cheated out of it. Hispanics, I guess Mexicans here in Texas felt like, you know, her correlation between being on the plantation and being on the farm shouldn't have been like, you know, a comparison. Exactly. Shouldn't have been like a comparison, but you know, that's what happened. And I guess you got to choose your words wisely, especially to the citizens that you're hoping to elect you for office, you know. But it's messed up. Just Hispanics so weak and they love their slave master. Oh wow. It's gonna be a fight. Get them gloves on, ding, 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 go. So yeah, so that's what's going on in, you know, the local politics and stuff. And you know, Trump is going now at Spain because Spain doesn't want to jump on board with the other European countries when it comes to Iran. And Spain has some really strong words for Trump, you know, and how he's moving politically and how he's moving around the world and what he's doing. And they really don't agree with him on that. So I was surprised because out of everything that's been going on, even in the past, I would say even in the past 4 years, or maybe I've had my head in the sand somewhere, but I haven't heard Spain say jack. So I don't even know why now this is becoming a topic. That's just to show Spain will join in and do what they're told. Vamos a ver. But let me see. Let me see if I can play what Trump was saying about Spain first. Okay, here we go.
We're going to cut off all trade with Spain. We don't want anything to do with Spain. Like, Spain has been terrible. In fact, I told Scott to cut off all dealings with Spain. And now Spain actually said that we can't use their bases. And that's all right. We could use their base if we want. We could just fly in and use it. Nobody's going to tell us not to use it. I could tomorrow stop, or today, even better, stop everything having to do with Spain. All business having to do with Spain. I have the right to stop it. Embargoes, do anything I want with it. And we may do that with Spain. What do you think? We're going to cut off all trade.
So he said we're going to cut off all trade with Spain. What are we trading with Spain? Spain don't have anything. I don't believe Spain has anything that we want. Like, you know. So I don't know what he's talking about when he said cutting off all trade. I knew that we had like a little base out there or something like that, but I don't get it. Hispanics know what's important in family. They move for a better life so their kids can prosper. Most of the time they succeed. The white man just allowed them the opportunity. That's what we've been saying, right? Since we've been getting on YouTube, Blood Moon, that's basically what it is. Even though others see it differently, like, you know, like we're taking something away from people. So I don't get it. So Irby said, agreed, Trump, when it comes to Spain. Oh, of course you do. But, you know, come on now. No white man worshiping involved. Exactly. But yeah, he basically insinuated that, you know, that Spain can't control what the U.S. does in their country, because if he feels like it, they'll do what they need to do while they're there. You know, they'll impose themselves onto them. So I don't know. Trump is moving like a bully, though. Like you can't say that. You can't get upset because somebody doesn't want to play ball with you. If you got the UK, that's all you really need. The UK and France and all these other countries, you're good. You don't need Spain. What does Spain have anyway? Like, you know, to offer. So if they don't want to be involved, they don't need to be involved. You know? Hold on. Let me see. Okay, let me start with this one. This is her name is Manuela. I don't know what her last name is, but she's part of the cabinet there in Spain, and she has some strong words. Spain got hoes. We need those.
Presidenta, el primer objetivo militar de Netanyahu y de Trump ha sido bombardear una escuela femenina, asesinando a 160 niñas. Y mientras tanto, una portavoz de su partido dice que es una magnífica noticia para el feminismo. Así es como la derecha defiende los derechos de las mujeres iraníes, celebrando el asesinato de 160 niñas. Es infame. Y mientras tanto ustedes jalean una guerra que nos va a traer caos e inseguridad a todos. Exactamente igual que hizo Aznar hace 23 años. Metiendo a Madrid, sí, con la peor decisión del Partido Popular, metiendo a Madrid en el peor atentado terrorista que hemos vivido, con 192 muertos. Aznar, Abascal y Ayuso, si es que son todos lo mismo. Y los primeros que mandan a otros a la guerra a morir nunca se prestan como voluntarios para ir al frente. Miren, y ya es hora de decírselo. Si tanto les gusta la guerra, vayan ustedes. Si tanto le gusta la guerra, váyase usted con Abascal. Porque hasta ahora lo único que le hemos visto es arrastrarse ante una potencia extranjera en contra de los intereses nacionales de España. ¿Y saben lo que pasa? Que afortunadamente ustedes no gobiernan España, que ustedes ya no mandan y no nos van a volver a poner en peligro. Muchas gracias.
Hey, Rich, thank you for stopping by. Those girls losing their lives are sad, exactly, you know, but they would say, Blood Moon, that that's just a casualty of war, right? That's how they put it. Like, you know, they just happen to strategically put it there, you know, like you struck where there were innocent children. You didn't strike I don't know, a factory or something. I don't know. They did, I mean, it wasn't even like where they have their oil at or anything like that. They did it in that area. What did the Lord say? Lord said. What does she say? She speaks like that jungle language. She's basically saying that if you guys want to go to war, then you should volunteer yourselves. You know, instead of trying to put Spain in danger with something that they don't have nothing to do with, you know? You don't mind the right people, but not the innocent. Yeah. But unfortunately, that's what happened. Like, and that's sad. That is so sad. But she has some choice words, and some other Spaniards did too. Part of the same. I think that this happened the same day. I was just wondering why they singled out Spain, like, you know, because nobody worries about what Spain is doing, sadly. So, let me see. Where's the other Politico from Spain? Oh, here he goes. Let me play this last video. Titi, your voice sounds husky and raspy. I know, but the more I talk, the better it gets. It should be getting better. I'm not coughing to death like I was last week because I was talking so much. So it's getting better. Hold on a second.
Y esta madrugada el señor Donald Trump ha dicho que con esos aranceles ahora los países vienen a besarle el culo. Y yo le voy a responder al señor Donald Trump con su misma educación. Me va a entender incluso sin subtítulos. Fuck off, Donald Trump. Fuck off. Aquí hay un país digno que no le besa el culo a nadie. Le besará el culo su amigo el señor Abascal, el señor Milei. Pero los pueblos de España no le besan el culo a nadie. Y esta
no le besan el culo a nadie. Part of it was English, right? He said, F. Donald Trump. No le besa el culo a nadie. You know, they feel like, you know, he's trying to bully, you know, and he's right. Everybody's jumping on board and just kissing his ass, you know. Yo, he said culo. Yeah, Rich. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's politics, but sometimes you got to laugh. Like, you got to laugh at the back and forth, that, you know, the banter between countries and, you know, our administration, our president, and what's going on with the other countries. I mean, it's crazy. The left in Spain is going to use this to their advantage to gather support for their party. You think so? And I think that's what that lady was referring to, what happened in the 40s when what was going on in World War II. So they don't want to go through that again, you know? So it's a lot to take in. But the fact that, you know, this has started now in Iran, and now it seems like it's going to be a WW3 going on, you know, and countries are getting pulled in that probably don't want anything to do with it, and it's going to heighten stuff that's going on. And they're saying that one person is behind the fact that the United States jumped into this war. Maybe Lord can confirm yay or nay with the end guy who they're saying is the one pulling the strings and, telling Trump to get the United States involved in the Middle East and something that we don't really need to be involved in, right? And I knew I was going to start seeing videos on this since bombing Iran. I was talking last week, or I don't know if it was the other stream, about the Muslim presence in Europe and here in the United States, and in the way that things are going. It's like you're going to start getting these people going, and they're right in your backyard. Like you're inviting, to me, this is just my personal opinion, you're inviting issues into your own country. You're inviting things to happen, so, and it's a little scary. There's a lot of them here. This has nothing to do with any other country but the U.S. wanting control of the globe. Really? Because I think there's somebody else who wants to control the globe, but they're using the United States as a puppet, Lord. That's how I'm seeing it. Do I know that for sure? Probably not, but that's how I'm seeing it. Like that one person's name that keeps coming up, that I think is a 3-syllable word. No, it's 4. They're saying that it's him, trying to push everything to happen. And he even had to leave where he was at because he feels that people are going to try to come and attack him. Let me go to the comments. Let me see what Lord is saying. That's how they want you to see it. Oh, okay, Lord. So they're planting a narrative for us to think that it's that. So what? We can start hating those people, because he's of a certain ethnicity. Nope, I don't mean them. But I'm going to play a video on Lord's favorite person here, or BB. Let me play that video. But okay, so no, before I get to that, so they're targeting the Muslims and stuff, and it's gonna start making it like almost like how it was on 9/11 after, even though they were the ones supposedly that attacked us. Things are gonna start getting scary, and it's already started in the airlines. Let me play one. No, let me play 2. I'm gonna play this one first.
The flag! Going to bomb the flag! Dead to America! Dead to Trump! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar! Allah Akbar!
Oh my God.
Sit down. Don't move. The flag! Going to
And it's crazy, right? Because he's yelling that, and he's talking about America and all that crap, but he's not even like in America. Because I'm listening to the accent, I can't tell if it's British or Australian, but he's not in America doing all that threatening, all that stuff, and making people nervous. You can imagine you're in the air, you're getting ready to go home or go wherever you're going to, and you hear this guy yelling this crap on the plane. Like, I would freaking have a heart attack. Propaganda, they're all paid actors. You think? What was he saying? Reminded me of the Twilight Zone. You probably would have felt like you were in the Twilight Zone, Blood Moon. That man was saying that, it's Trump's fault in America and Allah's the one. He kept saying Allah out loud. Oh, hell no, get the duct tape. I'm telling you, there's a lot going on here, and it's getting scary. It's getting really, really scary. That's just one incident in the airport. So let me show one of the other paid actors that Lord is talking about.
Let's go. Stand up. Everybody heads down. Stand up. Stay down. Stand up. Everybody just stay down. So
That's not AI, Lord. They have like different videos of this particular incident. And it was the Asian guy who, I didn't pick his video, but it was the Asian guy who, when they said that, he put his cell phone down, like in front of him, in front of the seat, while he had his head down and his hands up. Hey, Uncommon Sense, Jose Negron. Thank you for stopping by, Jose. Hope you're having a good evening. Who's Roy? Oh, Roy Chess. Roy Chess said, when you hear Allah Akbar, that is usually a threat. Exactly. And imagine being on a plane going somewhere. Like, I'm like, yo, I want to travel and I got to worry about this crap now because of what's going on. Are you kidding me? You know, Blood Moon said, I'm not scared. I'm freezing. Shit. But if you be on a plane, like, you know, depending on where you're going, you know, imagine if you want to take a flight to Europe now, that would be scary. Or coming from Europe and coming back over here. That would be really scary. Like, I don't know. This is like what you have to look forward to now. Like, and they're gonna heighten more crap up in the airport. It's gonna get harder to go through TSA and all that crap and get on the plane. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Like, it's just so much going on, and it's happening so fast. It's just too much. Exactly, Titi. Lone wolf attack. Well, we might think it's a lone wolf attack. That's the part that you don't know that. Like, he might have been on the plane, but you don't know who's in the ground. You don't know if another plane is coming, because that's the narrative that they put for 9/11, that there was another plane and hit that one. So I mean, I don't know. Yes, but they're of that faith, Blood Moon. They are Muslims, sadly. The Arabs, but they are Muslim. They're more Muslim. You could be Arab and not be Muslim. You could be a Coptic Christian or something like that. But that's the scary part. Like, I'm like, oh, so now I'm gonna have to worry when I travel too. Like, come on now, it's getting ridiculous with these, with the goings on, and then Trump is just yeah, we're gonna bomb them and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and all of that is not cool. I think it's a bit too much, and I found this video funny. I mean, it is in Spanish and there is subtitles. But I found it funny that these people who also chimed in on Trump from Spain as well, they're a little bit pissed off, but they've added a little humor on here, a little alphabet humor. So I'm going to play, this is the last video I got on Spain and their feelings towards our president in the current administration.
Hay que ver Donald Trump lo que ha dicho, ¿no?
Que está
amenazando a España.
Que está amenazando a España el pelopollo ese.
Sí.
Ponme a grabar, que le voy a enviar yo un mensaje al Donald Trump. Al Donald Trump, del coño.
Toma, está grabando ya, ¿eh?
Escúchame tú, pelopollo, que desde que te has puesto el peluquín rubio platino está tú que lo da todo, querido, que te quiere meter en todos lados. No te has comido tú una paella valenciana en tu puñetera vida. Tú no sabes lo que es probar unas gambitas de Huelva. Y estos pimientos de Armería, no los tenéis ustedes ni Jartorino. Me va a amenazar tú a mí con que ustedes no se vayan a comer nuestras cosas y no nos vayan a comerciar con nosotros. Irse al carajo, muchacho, que tenemos un montón de sitios con los que comercializar. ¿Qué carajo te has creído tú? Que era aquí el ombligo del mundo con el baile ese. El baile ese que hace, que tiene menos ritmo que la Leticia Sabaté, querido. Este tiene una papa media en la boca, el Donald Trump este del coño. A mí, escúchame, te voy a decir una cosa. He venido yo de gimnasio, me tomo las proteínas y estoy yo poderoso. Así que no te pases ni un pelo, porque encima no me tomo la pastilla de los nervios yo hoy, Donald Trump.
Venga ya, Donald Trump.
Carajo, se ha creído el Donald Trump. Ya quisieras tú tener lo que tenemos aquí los españoles, muchachos. Ya quisieras tú. Feo, que eres muy feo. No me relajo. A España no se la toca. Me venía arriba,
Madre mía.
Esto yo se lo quiero enviar por el correo eléctrico. Electrónico.
Hay que ver.
This is the type of guy, Blood Moon, have babies with. You said I worried too much. I'm not worried. Like, okay, so what America does in another country, Blood Moon, excuse me, doesn't have me worried, right? But if that's going to affect my day-to-day life, like if I'm traveling, like how it affected us before, then yeah, that's going to make me nervous. Right now, when I walk out my door, no, I'm not nervous about anything that's going on, with that. But the traveling part and some lunatic on a plane, saying some crap like that, please give me a second. Irby, yeah. when the I didn't see. Okay, so I worked the second shift at my job at the time, and I woke up. I think my sister had told me there was a 'cause she worked downtown. There was a plane that hit the World Trade Center, so I turned on the news. And as I turned on the news, as I'm getting ready to go to work, on the news they're showing the second plane hit the other tower. So I was like, "Oh crap!" So I started getting dressed to go to work, and I have to get on the highway. I lived in New Jersey at the time, and I had to get on the highway, and I was like an exit or two away from the George Washington Bridge, and that's usually packed with people from New York going to work into Jersey. When I got on the highway, Irby, I was the only car driving to my job. So I was like, wow. So everybody was like stuck. There was mad traffic going towards New York. Nobody was moving. And then the cars that should be coming from New Jersey, there was no cars on the highway. So then when I got to work, everybody was in shock, because a lot of people that worked at my job lived in New York City. And when you could look out the window, you could see from the part that I was at in New Jersey, you can see the towers. You can actually see it. You can see the smoke and all that. That day was crazy. It was a crazy time, Murphy. It was really crazy. You can overlook it. Called behavior. Let me see. What are you guys talking about? What is he talking about? He said, this type of guy, I blood on how baby's wet. I will never with that risk action. Yeah, just explain to Irby. Oh, okay, now I get it. Okay. Let's see. Let him have his tick, but I will not be interested. I doubt he'll be interested in me. No, I think Blood Moon's not his type. The guy he was sitting next to was his type. He even talked about taking in protein and all that. I almost threw up when he said all that, but yeah, that's my last video on Spain and stuff. And yeah, but well, speaking of these guys, now I'm gonna put something on. I don't know how YouTube is going to see it, but I'm going to put the fair use thing up and then play the video. But it's kind of sad. It's something to talk about, and hopefully you guys will definitely provide your opinions on that. But this is just, for commentary to discuss what's going on, with kids and stuff like that, because this is kind of serious. And like it says on here, it's nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips to balance in favor of fair use. So I'm going to play this video, and you guys tell me. I have two videos, but I'm going to play this one first. Give me a second. And Blood Moon knows how I feel about this already, but let me play this. It's not that long a video.
Estrogen treatment is irreversible and would make Josie sterile. But Josie and her mother never doubted it was the right thing until an unexpected conversation happened one afternoon.
But I'm in course. I would love you no matter what. I always have, and I always will.
It was the first time Vanessa ever heard.
So it was the first time the mother ever heard her child say that, right? And I was watching. I'm looking at the video, and I'm just like, you're pumping estrogen into this little boy. So whatever he said he felt like when he was 3 or 4, and you ran with it, and then I saw who the mother was. This is stuff like this is what got Trump elected. Well, I mean, look at the way I'm looking at this video, and you're playing in his hair, and you got him in a dress, and he's gonna be sterile. And she said that's the first time that she basically heard doubt in his voice. Doubt like what? That he doesn't want to be. He's very aware that he's a boy on the inside, and what he is on. It's like he couldn't even say what he really was, and it's so sad that these liberal parents, or, I don't know, how can you give your child hormone blockers when then I even this little boy, I don't even think he was 10, or maybe he was 10, but she had to have been starting him on that for years, you know? And I'm like, this is so sad that they're allowing parents to do this, one, and two, that the doctors are also allowing this, that like there's no boundaries when it comes to kids, like they have to wait till they're 18. So his privates were removed. No, what's happening is that the privates won't grow, Blood Moon. They give them hormones, right? So he when he goes through puberty, he won't start, he won't go through puberty the way a boy goes through puberty. It's puberty blockers. They pump more estrogen. So they start looking, more like a girl instead of a boy, and maybe it might make some boobs protrude out, and it'll prevent his private from growing and from having that first wet dream and all that. It says chemically castrated. Basically, yeah, it's chemical castration, and it's like ultimately it's the parent that has to take the kid to the doctor to get this started. So it's the parent's fault. The kids are young. What about when they get to puberty and he be like, I like girls and I like dressing like a boy and I want to be who I am. Then what are you going to tell that your son? Oh, we can't reverse it because when you were 4, you told me you want to be a girl and I ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so sad. I would take him to a therapist. They have to go to therapy, Irby. I think that's part of the process. They send him to therapy, but I did a stream, Irby, a couple of years ago on that, and there was a therapist who was trans that was saying that doctors should not allow kids to take these hormone blockers, that these therapists shouldn't convince the kids that, yeah, you're right, that's how you feel. We're going to go with how you feel because this is how you're feeling right now. Like, what if the kid is just gay? What if he's just a boy who doesn't want to be a girl but likes boys? Like, but you messing with their body. And that eventually messing with their body, me personally, I believe that would mess with their brain eventually. Because like Blood Moon said, is a chemical castration. But what is that doing to them mentally as well? How are they mentally going to cope with that when they become adults? There was a show, I don't know if it's still on, called Jazz, and it was about a boy who, I think they live in Florida, Irby. It was about a boy who, I guess when he was around 4 or 5, told his mom that she's a girl, or I feel like a girl, and she took him to the doctor, and they were putting him on hormone blockers, and they were pumping estrogen in him, so he started looking like a girl, and then the chemical castration part of it up because his private part never grew. So by the time he turned 18, he wanted to go full transition. And when it was time to do the bottom surgery, it was really difficult because, thank you, Rich. It was really difficult because since he never became a full boy, when they do that bottom surgery, they change that part. Like if you're a girl, they change it into a boy. And if you're a boy, they manipulate it to make it look like a woman's part. And he didn't have enough skin or enough to work with so that they can make him a girl. But they went ahead with the surgery anyway. And it was like a disaster from the beginning because they had to get stitched up. They didn't heal right. There wasn't enough skin. It was very painful, in other words, So it's like, you put him through all that. So now he became miserable. He gained mad weight. I think he met some dude who was only with him just for the, notoriety to be on TV and stuff like that. But like they're miserable. Then I look at the parents and I'm like, you're like, oh, you feel sorry for them. No, it's your fault. It's your fault. You allowed that. And I'm not saying, live and let live. I don't agree with that lifestyle, but live and let live, right? If God forbid, if my kid ever said that, okay, I'm gonna love you and I'm gonna support you, but that drastic of a change and that type of thing that you want to do, you're gonna have to wait till you're 18 to do that, and then it's your life, and then you are responsible for what happens, because they say that's what is the body dysmorphia? That's what they call it, because supposedly it's not normal to feel that way. but whatever, right? There's people who do feel that way and they go through the process and all that, but they should be going through it as adults, at least past puberty. So at least, you know, you will know at that point whether you want to go completely through with it or not. Not at an age where tomorrow you like blue, but then the next day you like red, and you want to play with a Tonka toy one day, and then you want to play with a Barbie next, and then, you know, you can change your mind over and over and over again because you're not mentally completely developed. Blood Moon says no, not 18. 26 years old is the proper age to have those. That would make even more sense, right, Blood Moon? I mean, the law should be stricter, right? It should be more strict so that when the person is doing it, they're at their right state of mind, if so to speak, right? Because, like I said, people call it body dysmorphia, so they see it as a mental illness. But at least at 25, you have lived 25 years in your body, and you know at that point you've been an adult long enough to decide, well, maybe I do want to take that step and take that leap and do that. Irby said there should be a law protecting children. This is child abuse. Well, that's what that therapist was saying, Irby, that a therapist shouldn't be encouraging this and giving them the ability to take hormone blockers or signing off on it because they are too young. I don't care what adults do. Exactly. Doctors and parents play God with kids and calling it science. Exactly, Rich. It's like it's an experiment. You know, and sadly with this video, when I saw who the mom was, I was like, oh, of course she encouraged it because she put her feelings, if that's her biological kid, because I don't even know if that's the case, but she put her feelings about maybe how she felt growing up into this little boy. You know, so maybe she felt, oh, I didn't have the support that I needed when I was growing up, blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to be the supportive parent and give him everything he wants. But, you know, you know how kids are. You have to take some sort of control with regards to your children to make sure that they live a positive, good, and healthy childhood as much as they can, you know, with what you have. But something like that is like, me personally, I wouldn't want to be responsible for doing that to my kid, and God forbid, because that's how I think. What if he changes his mind? Because when you're so little like that, you know, your mind is forming, your brain is forming, you're learning your likes and your dislikes. You know, you're learning, you know, the kind of person you want to be. Like your kids, when they're, you know, in middle school, they have one type of mentality. Then when they get to high school, you know, they change a bit and they think, you know, different ways and start moving differently. Then when becoming adults, you see another change. So it's like, you know, come on, we got to be a little bit smarter with kids. And Irby's right. There has to be some laws to protect children because that's scary. That's very scary. So now I have another video, same topic. Not sure how the oldest person is, but this is like to the point where it's getting ridiculous. So let me see if I can find it. I'm going to play. Oh, yeah, I'm going to play this one. Okay, I have the fair use banner here. So fair use, this is somebody else's video.
I'm going to challenge myself and be very kind when I say this. When we talk about progressive ideology and leftism being poisonous to society, this is what I mean. I'm not even going to go there about the caregiver. I'm looking directly at the medical professionals now who signed off on this surgery. You have just created a whole new plethora of challenges and health issues for a person who is already incapable of independently managing their own needs. This is not an example of equal rights. This is an example of exploitation, medical malpractice, and the absence of integrity and humanity, all in favor of woke ideology.
Give me a second, people. Thank you, Rich. Thank you for sharing the stream. So yeah, isn't this like crazy? Yeah. Thank you. Isn't that crazy? This topic is triggering for me. I am disturbed by what I just saw. Tell me about it. When I saw that, I was like, oh my God, Blood Moon. Oh my freaking God. You mean to tell me, to add insult to injury, you're doing this for a handicapped person too? Like who? How did this person express themselves, Blood Moon? What did they say? I mean, seriously, like what did they say? I want to be a boy? What? I've never, I don't have any relatives like that or anything like that, but it's just like, how did they express that to themselves? How did they say this is what they want? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I didn't think it was going to trigger you, but it is definitely disturbing. But I said it's definitely something I could put out there because look how far they're going with this. Look how far they're going with this. That doctor should lose his or her license. Exactly. But on top of that, who's the caregiver? Because he said he wasn't going to talk about the caregiver. But yeah, the caregiver is the one that has to advocate for this person. Like, who's advocating for this person? Who's saying that, yeah, this is what they want? Yeah, they feel pain. Yeah, they feel happy. Yeah, they feel like a girl. No, they feel like a boy. Like, who's putting all that out there? Blood Moon. That's crazy. So the little boy to me was more triggering, but hold on a second. The little boy was more triggering to me because he's a little kid and he seemed so confused. That's what really made me sad, that he seemed confused, and I don't know if he was, sometimes your kids do that. He was like trying to respond, like I want to make sure I say what she's trying, what she wants to hear, like, like I don't know, maybe I do want to do it like this, so I know what I think I am or what I am on the inside. It's sad, and yeah, people need to advocate for children. It's just a lot. So since I have Blood Moon triggered, what she said, the whole topic is disturbing. I voted for Trump for nothing because these things keep happening. Because he said he was, he talked a good game about this, right? Blood Moon, he talked about it. Like he did sign some executive orders regarding not putting transgender in certain women's sports and things like that, right? So he did do that. Excuse me, but he didn't get to the children, the part that makes more sense to me, right? Because adults can make choices, but children, if the parents are in the right state of mind, they should be the one making the choices and advocating for the kids and making sure that they have the best viable childhood that they can have, that they can provide for them, right? So, so I guess that was your focus then, Blood Moon, on that topic and children, because he's more focused on taking on the world. Like, I guess, like Lord said, like he just wants to take over the world. Like he's focused on leaving this administration with a bang, to making sure that his name ring bells for centuries, or for years going forward. Like they're gonna talk about him, like, yeah, Trump did this, Trump did that. So it seems like he's going to get into all that, for his ego. Trump likes money. He wants oil. Yeah, but it's ego based too, Blood Moon. He's very egotistical. He has a huge ego, and there has to be some kind of common sense, and there has to be some sort of education in there. Thank you, Irby, for people to get involved in things like this. Like I've always said, Trump is not a politician, and he's not running the country like a politician. There's a way to do things, and he's doing things the way he feels like it, right? It was repeated to that little boy 100 times, and he started to believe in it. Then the confusion comes in, so he goes to therapy to make it work for his parents. Exactly. And the therapist can control your mindset. Excuse me. So I just find it so sad, so very sad, that you're not giving these kids a chance to live their normal childhood. And I say normal because, some people would tell me that's not the right word to choose, because when you're younger and, if you're gay, then, You know, how are you going to say that that kid is not normal? You know, you can't control their feelings, how they feel towards the opposite sex, because when you break it down, it involves sex. You can't control that part, but you can control how they grow physically, how they grow into adulthood. That part you can control. If your kid's going to be fat, if they're going to be nasty, like, you know, you control that part. Like, you're not going to allow your child to misbehave and be bad. You're not going to allow your child to be obese because you control what they eat, you know? Tita, you heard the bullying. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that topic after this one, Irby. That's what I want to talk about. But yeah, I played that video last week, Irby. I think you saw they were crying. I think the doctors, kids are not gay. That involves sexual feelings. Exactly, but have them tell it, Blue Moon, is not sexual feelings, but it is, because being gay involves sex. It involves feelings that usually kids don't have until they become like teenagers and stuff, you know, when they start going through puberty and figure out like, wow, I got this, I got that, this does this, this does that, and that involves sex. And that's when, you know, parents, or if the school offers sex education, that's when you start talking to them about that. But when a kid tells you, I feel like a girl, what if the little boy grew up around a bunch of girls? Then yeah, he's going to be attracted to girly things because maybe he has a bunch of sisters and they put on perfume and dresses and do their hair, and, you know, kids want to fit in and be the same. They don't want to be different, and maybe being around all those girls makes him feel like he wants to be a girl and do his hair and wear dresses. And that's a phase because of what he's exposed to, you know, but not necessarily that he really wants to be a girl. But as a parent, you're going to go and say, oh, yeah, you want to be a girl? Okay, I'm going to support that. And I'm going to, you know, make sure I go through everything with you, you know, go to the ends of the earth to make sure that you get what you want at 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years old. When your mind is still developing, you really don't know what you want anyway. I'm the adult, and I'm the one here to steer you in the supposedly right direction. Jamaica too. Oh yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He's being a bully. He's being a straight bully, Irby. But yeah, people. Let me see, an hour. Okay, good. I got some good timing. So, excuse me. That was heartbreaking to watch to me. Even the disabled person too. It seemed off. I mean, at first I looked at it and I had like a little chuckle at first. I was like, are they serious? Like, you know, it seemed like it was a joke, but then it's like, no. You know, you're fully taking advantage of this person who probably cannot make any decisions. I'm not saying that person on the inside doesn't have feelings and doesn't know what they want, but how do they express that? How do they know that when they got so many other medical issues going on that they know they want to be another sex? It's better to teach them about the reality of life. Exactly. They cannot be a different gender, period. You know, those are my feelings, but there's people out there who feel otherwise. And if they become adults, you know, Blood Moon, and that's their choice, and they have the ability to do that, then let them do it. As long as they're not in my world and not influencing my kids or trying to do, you know, as long as they're not doing bad to people, you know, live and let live. Live your life the way you want to live, you know. But be an adult, hopefully be in the right state of mind where you can make those decisions and live your life. Damn, that was sad. Okay, so I'm going to go back to politics, Blood Moon, but this was kind of disturbing. Well, how it ended to me was kind of disturbing. And I think hopefully you guys saw this video already, but let me just make sure this, okay, yeah. Let me play this video. Okay, I got the fair use banner. Okay, hold on.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go. America does not want to send its sons and daughters to war for Israel. Your inability to name that shows your ineptness as leaders. This is wrong. And nobody wants to fight for Israel. please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America. Now, no one wants to fight for Israel.
Sir, thank you for your service.
The senator broke his hand. The senator broke his hand.
Hi, Interrupt Boricua.
Hey, Titi, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay, considering that it has gotten a little cold down here in
You
Texas.
did, right? They said the temperature was gonna go down.
Yeah. I mean, the past few days, the weather was actually all right, nice and warm, kind of like very tropical like.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yeah, but today happened that I had to go out and run a few errands, and no, it's chilly and raining, and I was feeling miserable. Hey, what's going on, Herbie? What's happening? Oh man, yeah. I mean, I was listening a little bit before I joined in, and you were talking about the whole thing about the kids and the whole
Yes.
the whole thing about the sex changes and all.
Mhm.
That whole notion, that's what I have problems with, the kind of like with the left, with the far left, when they get into that shit, when they start talking about that gender is a social construct, that kind of thing. That's where they lose me, because there is an argument that you can make about race being a social construct if you look at the history of it, and how the whole thing about being white or being black is something that was, those concepts were created relatively recently.
Right.
So there was never any question as to when it comes to gender, because that's biology. That's something that we maintain that when it comes to animals. We don't question that when it comes to animal. We know the males, and we know there are the females, but when it comes to humans, for some reason, you can have several thousand different genders, and people are all confused about it. I mean, you can't talk about it anymore when it comes to the biology of us humans. And
What makes us different than animals is that we have free will. That's the only difference, right?
yeah, that we have free will, and we can think for ourselves, and
Right.
we may be able to solve complex problems when we are adults, things. But aside from that, when it comes to biology, there is really nothing to talk about, and it's nothing really to argue. There are the males and the females, and the only other thing that they could be is what they call the hermaphrodites. The hermaphrodites are mutations or birth defects when a person can biologically have characteristics of male and female at the same time, but that's a birth defect. So,
Right, but it's like there's no third gender, even with hermaphrodites. We don't consider that a gender. That's just like something that happens. You know what I'm saying? Like a mutation, I think you said. So it's like every other species that they have two genders. So it's like, why do we want to impose? Why do we want to normalize it for children? As an adult, like, you know, I haven't uploaded those videos, but, you know, I saw a video, Dominican lady, her daughter says she feels like a dog. So she said,
you're talking about the Therians. That's a phase. That's
right, but it's almost the same thing. Ramon is like, okay, so you feel like a dog? Well, let me treat you like a dog. You can eat out of a bowl. I'm gonna feed you dog food. You're gonna sleep outside. That's what the mother did.
Yeah, those are
como perro, espérate.
Yeah,
Te voy a tratar como una perrita.
Yeah, the Therians, that's just young people that are looking for attention, and that's their way that they're. I don't pay attention to them. That's something that's a phase. That's something that's gonna go away when people push back against that enough. They're gonna leave that alone because they're making themselves look bad. And so I wouldn't worry too much about that. There are too many people that are losing their minds about that, and I think that that's basically they're getting what they want, which is attention put on them. There are people that are so desperate for attention that they will do that. They're making themselves look bad, but they're getting attention in return. So there are people that will sacrifice their own dignity for that because they're so starved of it. Yeah.
But do it as an adult. The only problem I have is they're doing that to children. So not allowing the kids to get to have that right state of mind and say, you know what, this is what I really want. Or maybe this isn't what I want. And I'm glad that my mother didn't fall or my father didn't fall for the BS when I was little because it was just a phase.
Right.
You know, they kids change. They change how they see the world. They change what their likes and their dislikes change. So it's like you can't do something so drastic with their biology that because once you start with that part, there's no turning back. Once that's the thing. That's why I don't know why these parents are so gun-ho with it, because this is not something you can reverse. Once you start that there and you get there, especially when they do the bottom surgery, it's a wrap. That's it.
Yeah, there's something that I wanted to say really quick. I see what you're saying, Roy Chess, but no, hermaphrodites is not a proper gender. That's a birth defect, because they come out, like Blood Moon is saying, they come out with these abnormalities and they don't function properly as either gender. So that's a birth defect. I mean, I'm not putting them down. I'm not trying to say anything bad about them. I feel for them, but hermaphrodites is a birth defect. It's not a proper gender.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what you were saying when it comes to the whole sex change thing, it is extremely unfortunate that is happening with that is being done to children, and like one of your posters, I don't remember which one that was saying any doctor that participates in doing something like that, changing the gender of a child that is not old enough to consent to anything like that, they should lose their license and possibly arrest them twice for it. I mean, because
I did a stream on that a couple of years ago. I don't know if he was on that stream, Ramon. It was I put it's about the therapist who happens to be trans said that the doctors should not promote hormone blockers and surgery and all that for children, because they're the ones that have to sign off on it. You know that you don't just go and get the hormone blockers. You got to go see the doctor and all that, right?
No, because it is potentially harmful, and it is a violation of the Hippocratic oath that they can take, that doctors take, which is to not do anything that will harm a patient, and that and doing those procedures and those hormone blockers thing, that it is potentially harmful. I don't care what the parents say. I mean, a doctor should have the final say on that, because the doctor is the professional in that, and there are ethics involved.
Yeah, but it's the parents' fault, Ramon, because you got to take your kid to the actual therapist, right? So what's your mindset when you're taking your kid to somebody else who went to school and read books on what your child should think, or you know, or what based on what your child says, what conclusion are you going to come up with? You know. Like, you know, I don't know. I took being a parent so seriously, Ramon, that it was just like, and I thought it was just you know, you feed them, you give them shelter, you put them in school, and that's it. No, there's so much more that goes into that, and you got to think about what you expose your kids to, what they watch on TV, who they hang out with, who their teachers are, what's going on in school, if they're playing sports, who their coaches are, you know, like you got to be on top of everything, what they eat.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things that you have to and play a role in and be that take on that leadership role, right? Because you got to be a leader with that, right? And you know, to let somebody else do that for you, like you're putting your child's life in their hands because they just said one thing and like, okay, let's go see the professional. You know, it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I went to therapy when I was little, and honestly, Ramon, it was like because I had the ADHD and they wanted to put me on Ritalin and all that, And I remember talking to the doctor and him showing me pictures and, and then in my head, I'm a 6-year-old, like, what the hell, what's he trying to do? What's going on? Because I learned to decipher stuff really young. So I had that issue, but I wasn't stupid. So and I knew that he was looking for an answer. Like, every time he showed me a picture. So sometimes I used to have fun with it. I see the devil. I see blood. I see, just to see what he was going to say,
Yeah. No,
so it was like,
and of course, there are certain challenges that a kid can be growing up with. I mean, when I was a kid, the whole thing about ADHD, that I never heard of that. But then again, that wasn't a common thing to talk about back in Puerto Rico. And my folks, my parents, did think that there might have been something wrong with me because I didn't talk. And then when they did studies on me, they found out that I was actually very smart. I just didn't talk much. But there are other kids that could be dealing with some real difficulties in their development when they're growing up. No, and I'm seeing Richard Martinez.
He's right, a helicopter parent. I didn't know what that was at first, Ramon, but I was like, I am a helicopter parent.
You were pretty much like that, or maybe the equivalent of an Asian tiger mom or something like that, which is
yes.
They're very into their kids, trying to mold them, like micromanaging their kids' life.
And look what Blum said. Blum said money is what these doctors are about. That will be an expensive patient for life. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, because of this, the healthcare system is about the profits first. Maybe treating an issue, but not curing, because there is no money in curing.
Exactly.
No money in the cure. Forever. I mean, for the rest of a patient's life. It's like the therapist and psychologist, and that they're always talking about that people should do therapy, they should go to psychologists, but there are people that have been going to therapists for 20 years, and they're not really better off because a lot of the work that the therapists do is basically they let the patient talk, and they don't really tell them what they need to hear. And a lot of the time, the therapists or psychologists, they know what it is that will actually help their patient, but legally they're not allowed to do that. They just ask, and they listen to whatever, and then they ask questions about, okay, so what do you think that means to you? They kind of bounce back the questions, or they.
That's what I'm trying to say, and I figured out that it was like that like it was as a kid.
Yeah.
I figured it out. He's showing me pictures like that don't make sense. I'm like, so in my head, I'm like, what does this man want me to say about what I'm looking at? I saw him once a week for like, I don't know, 6-7 months. He was a child therapist or psychiatrist, however you want to call it, and crazy. I had a cousin that went to see him too, but she was a lot older than me. She was a teenager and I was about 6, so it was crazy. But they said that they said I had ADHD because of my behavior.
Oh, okay.
But I wasn't like I tell Blum, she said there's no such thing, but I'm an introverted extrovert. I would at times just not talk, and it's not that I didn't communicate with people. It was just like sometimes I would be in my own little space, my own little world, and
which is basically me. And that's why I used it. That's why I call myself this, because when I looked up the definition of what an introvert is, that was like I was looking at myself in the mirror when I was reading the text. It was like I was seeing myself in the definition. So that's why I use it as my screen name. Because that's basically what it is with me. I don't have a problem with being by myself, because I enjoy peace. I enjoy peace and quiet, even though I do like to be in good company. But if I can't be in good company, then that's okay too.
That's why I call myself an introverted extrovert, because I do at times I do, and there's just times I want to be, to myself in one piece. But it's like But okay, so when I was little and I was displaying those type of behaviors, because you go through certain traumas, right? So I thought about it before. Was it extremes? Was it that? Now as an adult, I look at it as like maybe it wasn't that extreme, but as a child, it did seem like that, and that shaped my behavior. And I guess that's when my mom noticed that there's a change in her behavior. So what the doctors is, and I guess that's when it started really, because I think by the time I was born in the 70s is when they started introducing everything. That's when they started introducing Pampers, Similac. They were starting mass production of food and shit like that. So then they start putting hormones and stuff, and then they started changing. They started putting chemicals in certain sweeteners, and everything started changing between the 70s and the 80s. Everything started changing. Yes, Herbie, the 70s. That's why you're screwed now. I remember my mom saying, "Yeah, when you were born, they started with Similac. They started with the Pampers, and they started the baby powder that girls can't use powder no more now because it gives you cancer." Like there was so many things that were promoted then because we went from the Industrial Revolution to, I want to say, I guess progress. We were moving into another age now. Things were happening more faster. You wanted to make things cheaper but faster, and they weren't so organic anymore. Like I remember. And I lived in the Bronx at the time too, but there was still a service where the milkman would come and bring milk to your apartment.
Well, the thing is that there might have been something like that in Puerto Rico, but I never saw it when I was a kid. I never saw it. I mean, there were already milk cartons by the time I was
No, we had that too, but we had the option because there was one of the few farms outside of New York City that they still delivered milk.
Yeah, that's something that I have only seen in movies.
And my mother said that because I drank a lot of milk growing up, she said it was cheaper to have the milk delivered than buy the milk in cartons. And some people felt like the milk from the milkman was better than the milk in the carton because it went through a factory. Remember, the milk goes through, to get in the carton, So it's like, even now, when I don't know who I was telling that, but even the meat looks different now. I think they've already introduced fake meat to Similac. I believe they put something in that. Oh, my kids. Well, I drink a lot of milk, Rich, and I come from a family of very skinny, tall people. I didn't get as tall as my parents did, but I grew faster. Me and my sister, we popped up where when you look at our mothers, we don't look like them in that sense. And that, to me, that's the hormones and the shit that they pump into freaking cows. And I drank milk like it was water. She's hungry, give her milk. Give her milk. Give her milk. As a child, I lived getting milk straight from the cow, and it's better.
Growing up, I had a lot of chocolate milk because
me too. And the chocolate is synthetic. That's not like real cocoa.
No.
My father used to buy. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so we used to buy the Quick, right? The Quick powder.
Oh yeah.
The strawberry and the chocolate.
I don't
right?
have it anymore, but yeah, I had a lot of Quick powder.
We used to put that in Avena. You can put that in Avena, right? So they used to buy that. But then my father would buy the chocolate from DR. He was able to get it from the grocery store. The chocolate that he used to have to use a cheese grater and grate it so that he could make his own milk chocolate. He said, no, voy a tomar ese polvo. Because he's old school.
Okay.
It was real chocolate.
Yeah, it was kind of like the hard dark chocolate that came in that was like
it wasn't dark, but it was chocolate from DR, and he used to buy that, and that's how he made his hot chocolate and stuff.
Because I remember the one that I will see in Puerto Rico that came in a bar. It was also dark chocolate. It was called Chocolate Cortez. I remember that.
I don't remember the one
a bar, and it didn't have any sugar in it.
It was in the yellow. It was in the yellow wrapping. Yellow and silver
wasn't
and yellow
it Chocolate Cortez? Wasn't it Cortez?
I don't remember the name.
I think Chocolate Cortez came in a yellow wrapper too.
I can see it, but I don't remember the name. I'm 5'7", Irby, and since I'm getting older now, maybe I'm a little bit shorter.
Okay.
You lose bone density. I swallowed a large Quick powder in less than a week. I'm pre-diabetic. What? School chocolate. Yes, so funny, Rich, because we're from New York, right? School chocolate milk and that cheap square-ass pizza was the bomb. Like that cheap fake pizza. School chocolate milk is fat-free now. Oh. My mom used to bring cartons of milk home, Blood Moon, because in the school, like the what do you call those? The dietitians, the dietary ladies, they had to throw it away. Whatever was left over during the, from lunch or breakfast, they can't use it the next day. They had to throw it away, so they would sometimes give it away to the teachers, whoever wanted it and stuff. Chocolate milk is now fat free, but yeah, Ramon. So nothing's really the same anymore, and I think that's why our lifespans are shorter now because of, I always tell my mom that if it's not the drugs, it's going to be the food that kills you, or that just the atmosphere, the air we're breathing, the water we're drinking. I remember saying, because I live in New York and we used to drink water out the pila, right? We used to drink it out the sink. So I was like, what? Somebody was saying, yeah, they're gonna, because water. The water we had to pay for was like Perrier water, mineral water. That water was always bottled or something we had to pay for. I was like, imagine if they start making us pay for water. What do we do now, Ramon? You don't drink water out the faucet.
No, not this day. I grew up drinking tap water back home.
Me too.
I grew up drinking tap water, but in the last 20 years or so, I have gotten more into drinking bottled water, or having a jug. I have a water jug in here right now.
That's what I buy for my son, because that's how he drinks it. I just buy jugs of water.
Yeah,
that's how he drinks it. But it's like the Texas spring water. I think it's bigger than a gallon. Those are the ones I buy for my son. He just, every time he goes to work, he takes a jug, or if he's going to the gym, he takes a jug with him. Everything has changed. But so going back to the Marine, do you see all that? He's there protesting, and Blood Moon was right. He was using his First Amendment right to speak on the war. He's a vet who's been to war.
Yeah,
and
but
knows the atrocities.
Specifically, when he mentioned, they were kind of letting him talk a little bit, but specifically when he mentioned Israel, that's when the cops came in. That's when the cops came in, putting their hands on him, because it tells you what it is that you're not supposed to be talking about.
Exactly.
But we're kind of past that. We're kind of past that people aren't intimidated by that anymore, by the fear of being called an anti-Semitic. I think we're past that. Now the people are being more outspoken about just not sacrificing themselves. Even in a lot of soldiers, you can see that online, a lot of soldiers are saying that we're not going there. We're not going over there to fight somebody else's wars, because that's what it is. I mean,
excuse me, a lot of soldiers are speaking on the stuff that they saw over there, the stuff that they did over there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's this guy. What do you mean where, Lord? That's you talk about the video I showed with the Marine. Do you want to see that again? I don't know if you were here when I played it. But they were talking about the atrocities they saw, how people lived out in other countries and what they were doing, and you're putting yourself in harm's way. Look, okay, let me just play this video, Ramon. Hold on one second. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, let me play this for a second. That's not even the video I was looking for. I thought I uploaded it. I had a video of some the troops going getting ready to get on the plane, but while they were waiting for the plane, they were eating what do you call that food that they eat? That the black will say.
The rations.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So. Someone else is putting the soldiers in harm's way. The soldiers do not have much of a choice without negative consequences. Yeah, well, they signed up for that, right? I'm getting in the ground force is being prepared. Yeah, MREs. So when they were showing them eating those rations, when you look at their faces, Ramon, none of them looked over 18, 19 years old.
Yeah, because it's usually the kids that they send in first. We have been misled by Hollywood, because if you look back into the decades of war movies that have come out of Hollywood, you always see the soldiers that you see in the movies kind of like being older guys, kind of like older, kind of in their 30s and in their 40s, being soldiers that go to war. And that's a lie. The first people that they always send are the guys, the kids that are still teenagers, that are barely out of high school. Those are
That's
the
what
ones
they
that
look
they
like.
send first to the front lines to sacrifice them, while the officers that they get to stay in the back protected. Those are the older guys that are already officers. They have some certain kind of rank, and they're not gonna be in the front lines. They sacrifice the younger guys. They're the ones that are more of the cannon fodder.
The youth
That's
for
the
the
way
future.
it's always been. It's always been because you can find old paintings of other war centuries past, and they portray kind of like more of the truth when they will be fighting with muskets, and they will have to form a line of soldiers in front of the enemy, and they will have to stand there and getting shot at, and they will depict kind of like more of the truth, because you will see they will portray it as being a whole bunch of very young soldiers, just kids, boys, and you see them getting shot.
Hmm. Well, they saw a lot of things. I mean, I saw the movies like Full Metal Jacket. I saw what's this one with dead presidents. They came back messed up because of what they saw, what they had to do, and what they saw. And again, they're young, right? So their minds are still growing. And look how and then to add insult to injury, they were making them drug addicts. They were giving them drugs.
Well, yeah, because they were giving them morphine, painkillers, and morphine is something that is derived from opium, which is the same thing that they used to use to make heroin.
Right,
so
right.
It's addictive.
Right. So no, the Tecates came back from Vietnam, and that's when I started getting older, I started seeing, the drug addicts, and a lot of them were Vietnam vets.
Yeah, I know what you mean with Tecatos. We have them.
Yeah. But when I'm thinking about it, I'm putting everything together now. I guess it's just clicking that those were those people that came, because it was mostly men. I didn't see a lot of women. I mean, I saw women, but it was mostly men, and it was mostly men that were veterans.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily because of physical injuries. It's because they're messed up in the head, so they're taking drugs to kind of like numb the psychological.
Because of what they saw. Yeah, exactly. Because they used to say that in the street, like once you take a gun and you shoot a man, like you can never come back from that, because what stays in your head is crazy. So imagine if that's just a random shooting that you participated in, unfortunately, right? Then versus being in a war where you're doing that every day, all day.
Yeah. I have heard it from soldiers that somebody who kills somebody, they're killing a part of themselves. They're never gonna be the same.
Right.
And they come back from being in a situation where they're having to shoot somebody, they're having to kill in combat, and that they come back messed up. They come back having
mental issues,
having nightmares, and the PTSD, which is something that I think
they gave it a name.
By the Vietnam War, that still wasn't a thing. It was, I think. PTSD.
No. I think they did. I think that was the Gulf War. They started with the PTSD thing because, and they should have been back then when those young men were,
And it wasn't called that. It wasn't called that.
They didn't call it anything.
Maybe it was during Desert Storm. Maybe that's when they came up with the term. But before that, it was okay. Whatever. They're messed up. Deal with it.
It's crazy. So this guy who looks like he's in his 50s, probably retired, but he put on his uniform, and that should have been enough to respect the man, because every time I talk to somebody who's in the military, or if I see him, I always say thank you for your service, whether they were in the mailroom or they were in the front lines, because they volunteered to do that. But, he's there. They should have just let him say what he had to say and then let him go. He would have left. If everybody would have ignored him, he would have left. That's not even the whole video. He was arguing with a senator. And they were ignoring him.
I saw it.
You saw it, right? And the lady ignored him.
Yeah, I have seen the whole thing. After he got his arm broken, they were still manhandling him and pushing him around instead of taking care of him, because they had just broken his arm.
Well, you see how stoic he was? He didn't scream. He
took the pain.
He was bearing it.
I admire that because having breaking a bone that must be.
I heard it snap. I said, "Oh shit!" He was still talking. He was still yelling about what he was talking about, and he was like, "Yeah, you broke it." Like, you know, like, and that tells you how they train you in the military. You're mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still got to keep going. Even when something like that, you still got to keep going. Like, he didn't focus on the pain. Because I'm like, damn, I heard a snap. You know, if that was me, I think I would have heard the snap and started yelling before I felt the pain, you know? And then forget it. Whatever I was talking about was going to go out the window because my arm is broke. And he just kept on and on because I had to watch a different video to see, because it was like they broke his arm. I said, broke his arm. I didn't see it. The first video I saw caught the other angle. They didn't.
Yeah, I remember hearing the crack. I remember hearing the crack on one of the videos that I saw. On this one, I couldn't hear it, but I remember hearing the crack when they bent.
I feel it, Ramon. Like, I could feel it. When I heard that crack, it's like I felt it. I was like, oh my God.
Something that I wanna make a bit of a correction. Something that Herbie just said. He mentioned that the Rambo movies glamorized war. A quick correction. The second movie, the second Rambo movie, yes, it does glamorize. It did kind of glamorize war a little bit, but not the first movie. If you watch the first movie that is called First Blood, that actually addresses the whole PTSD thing, because when he first gets into the town and he starts getting bullied by the sheriff, and then ends up getting arrested, and they take him into custody, and they mistreat him, and they bully him while he's in custody. And when they're about to shave him, that's when he snaps because of the PTSD, and he starts kicking everybody's ass, and in that movie and all of that. But it was kind of like more addressing the PTSD because there wasn't a diagnosis for it yet. That was in the first movie. Now the second movie, yes, the second movie does glamorize. Made he was a big stink about it. It glamorized the war, and the Republicans were very happy with it, because for some reason he didn't have the PTSD anymore. He had spent some time in jail, but they break him out to send him back to Vietnam to rescue some soldiers, and it was a very patriotic piece. But the first one didn't glamorize it because he wasn't in the war. He was already stateside, and he was being bullied for being a veteran, and he was being called a drifter, and he was getting bullied, and he snaps because of that.
Yeah, because to add insult to injury to these Vietnam vets, Ramon, they what do you call that? They blamed everything on them. When they signed up to go to the service or got drafted, and they did their duty, then they come back and they're getting all this hate because of what they did over there.
But you have to look at it as to what went down over there, because for the most part, what they were killing was civilians, villagers. It was between 2 to 3 million people that
they were taking orders.
That died, and
they were kids.
Vast majority of them were not Viet Cong. They were not combatants. They were villagers.
Right, but they were taking orders from adults.
They were raining bombs on them. The same in Cambodia. They were raining bombs on people over there. So it was mostly civilians that were getting killed.
But that's how it is. I don't know if you saw, because I played a video of how Spain, I don't know what her last name is, Manuela something. She's part of the administration there, and she was complaining like, how is Trump trying to brag about bombing Iran when he killed 162 girls? He's bragging about killing
the whole thing, raining bombs on civilians. That's what the United States does. That's the foreign policy, raining bombs on civilians. They have been doing that for decades. It repeats again. The same thing in Iraq, the same thing in Afghanistan, the same thing, I think, in Bosnia, too.
Yeah. That's not Jose. That's Ramon Roches. He called you Jose. He said civilians aren't as innocent as you think, Jose. It's
Okay, Roches.
I'll give you a couple. You want a couple? Thank you. So, I'm gonna call it It's just it's crazy. War is never good, and it seems like every Republican president has to get us into war. You know, they have to get us into war. To this day, the strategy has been used: women and children, etc. No bueno. That's no bueno, Royches. Royches, weren't you in the service? I think. I know Lord was, but weren't you in the service? I'm sorry if I'm making too much noise. Oh my God, I got some cookies. This is good as hell. Anyway. Yeah, you were, right? Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines? Damn, where is what's his name? Sundown when we need him. Yes, I was. Which branch? Air Force. No, stop lying. Stop lying. Say he was in the Air Force. I don't know. And then, you know, I hope this doesn't get any further. I hope they don't bring in the draft. And if they do, I hope
No,
they keep the
I
same.
don't. It might be difficult to bring the draft, but you know what Agent Orange was doing? He was just having a meeting with certain leaders of Latin American countries. And what do you think that was about? He was trying to get them to get their people to volunteer to fight on behalf of the United States. That's so fucking insulting. Like,
You know what he's going to do is use these illegal immigrants and say, if you want to stay in the country, the ones that are all caught up in those detention centers, and say, if you want to stay in the country, you got to sign a list. We'll give you citizenship. And we'll give you citizenship.
Did you believe that? You really
I believe it. They'll do it. That's how a lot of immigrants get here. My uncle fought in the
Okay, your uncle. Okay, fine. Your uncle.
Vietnam. That was Vietnam.
I'm talking about with this administration. You really think that they're gonna make a promise like that and they're gonna honor it?
Yeah, when people protest and say they don't want to go to war. Yeah.
No, people over here don't wanna go to war. That's why they're trying to get them from somewhere else where they can draft them and maybe force them to fight somebody else's war.
Oh no, this is not cool.
No, it's not cool. And they were the usual bootlickers. It was Javier Milei, Noboa from Ecuador, Nayib Bukele, the usual right-wing types. They were the ones there. And maybe they're going to be getting their people to volunteer to fight somebody else's war. Notably, Mexico wasn't there, Colombia wasn't there, Brazil wasn't there.
Oh, Brazil?
No, Brazil wasn't
Argentina, because Argentina's getting it out.
Yeah. Argentina is there because they have that clown of a president and the people in their country don't like.
People in the service now, for the most part, don't want to go to war.
I don't want to go to war, but unfortunately, the commanders and the top-ranking officers are now a bunch of loyalists, which is something that didn't happen the first time around with Agent Orange. Now they're telling their soldiers, because we're fighting a holy war. They're talking like that now. The military officers are not. They're supposed to be neutral when it comes to religion, but now they're involving religion in their narratives and what they tell their soldiers. Now they're involving religion into it.
But you know what they're saying? Because they was like, if they try to bring back in the draft, he gonna send his son to war.
He's gonna have to send his son.
Right?
Hell yeah. He's
gonna
make
up an excuse the way he did.
The draft back, Baron. He's gonna have to be the first one in uniform.
Because excuse me, or otherwise we're gonna find an excuse the way Trump did too during Vietnam, because that Trump
yeah, he was able to get deferred like what was it, 4 different times. That's where the whole Von Spurs excuse comes from, which was never true.
Right. Crazy. Crazy. So now, I'm sorry, hold on a second. Chocolate, my downfall. You want to poison me? Put it in a chocolate chip cookie. Not many kids get sent to the dangerous parts of the war. They may go, but far from action. Yeah, okay, not now.
Well, they might be doing some administrative stuff, something that involves them staying in an office where they're protected and comfortable and not being out in the elements, risking their lives. Yeah, they could say that they might be able to say that they're veteran, which is a stretch, but because it was in a time of war. But yeah, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be comfortable. They're not gonna be risking their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was a draft dodger. It was what was it like I just said, like four different deferments because he was dodging the draft in Vietnam.
Yep. He didn't want to get out. And when you have money, sometimes that you get afforded that. Like you find loopholes.
Yeah, his daddy got that for him. Got the deferments for him. Mm-hmm.
Like his daddy probably didn't fight in World War II.
Well, I don't know about that.
He was German. So,
well, yeah, maybe on the other side. Maybe on the maybe he was a German officer.
Mm-hmm. So okay. So now, let me see. I want to put another video. Let me see where I start off at. Because I'm really wondering how all of this is going to turn out. But, because Trump has said that, Cuba's still on the table, but they got to take care of what they're doing now with Iran first. And my whole point is that
I'm sure that the Miami Cubans are very happy to hear that.
Oh, they're all over social media that I want to be like, all of you that are talking this shit haven't lived a day in ninguna dictadura. You haven't suffered through it. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are really talking all that shit because they look like they're my age or younger, and I'm like, you didn't go through
that. They're not exiles. They're not exiles.
Right.
Almost the real exiles. They have passed away. A lot of them.
It's their grandparents, exactly.
They have already passed away. They are their descendants are what remains now. They don't really care about the island per se.
And they're carrying on the same sentiments, like
Yeah, they want to. Yeah, they might want Cuba to be invaded, but that's because they want to go back and become the oligarchy there.
Exactamente.
They want to be the oligarchy, the ones that are running things and are exploiting the rest of the population. What used to be before the revolution, there was an oligarchy that were living large and good and comfortable, and they had to flee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna show because sometimes I see videos, and I'm gonna show the last video of Cuba. So sometimes you're like, where they're really suffering at, where they're really getting affected, because some stuff sounds really bad, and some stuff looks like they're not really going through much. But let me play this video.
Okay, and that's on the island.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
It's up to them. They're the ones that are there. If that's what they want, they need to make it happen.
They won't make it happen. They're used to that. They don't have the to me, they don't have the drive.
Yeah.
Overthrow the government. Otherwise, they would have been did it.
Yeah,
they don't have anyone.
It's true. They will have done it. They will have done it a long time ago. I mean, I'm not the best person to talk about that, but I think it will have happened a long time ago if it really was something that they wanted. I mean, because I have heard the chants before. Libertad. I have heard the chants. We have heard the chants.
Yeah, that reminds me of Scarface when they were in the
not only on
the immigration camp. Remember, Libertad before they killed that person.
Yeah.
Libertad. Libertad.
Yeah,
That's what that reminds me of. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the internment comes under the highway before somebody got stabbed.
That's what I visualized when I heard them saying that.
Yes, like
Could be right.
Yeah, like somebody's about to get stabbed. Instead, it doesn't happen.
Herbie's right. Because Marco Rubio's parents left Cuba before Castro and Batista was still in charge when they left. Yeah, because he tries to make it seem like he has that story of running away from the regime. When his parents left way before that.
That was like what was it, 2-3 years even before the revolution itself happened. So he didn't have to flee. I mean,
exactly. Well, he did it, but he's using that story. I'm talking about when people use the story of like poverty and struggle. That they didn't struggle. You didn't struggle, so stop making it seem like that's your story.
Yeah, and that's why they low key. That's why they low key. The Miami Cubans don't want things to change because then they won't be able to have that story anymore. They won't be able to use that to get the benefits that they get because they go on and on talking about the down with communism and communism is so bad and so evil, but they're getting socialism. In Cuba, they're comfortable getting socialism. Sorry, but a lot of people don't know that.
You gotta be careful what you ask for, right? Because when Trump is talking, he's like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go to Cuba." And I know everybody wants to go back, so to send them back, but not everybody wants to go back, right? So I'm like, what the hell? He was double talking. So like, what's your plan? You want them to go back? Because I swear to me, Cuba will be another Puerto Rico. Now,
annexation. That's what it will mean. It's becoming another Puerto Rico.
Right? They're saying it's better.
Another colony.
It'll be better for the people because of what they're going through now, yes, but they're just gonna be suffering under another regime. Why is Irby so obsessed with Cuba and Cubans? Haiti is in a worse situation than Cuba.
I don't know about that, Blood Moon, because I don't know if you remember, Titi, that I shared with you a video of a Cuban man who was saying that Haiti was actually better off.
They think Haiti is better. Because the eastern part of the island is super close to Haiti. So they can go back and forth.
Yeah. It's kind of like
Haiti's in a better condition. To them, Haiti's in a better condition.
Yeah, I shared with that video of a Cuban man talking about that the revolution by the 1970s it had already failed, and that literally today Haiti was actually better off.
People Irby said, "I know that's true. Communism is the victimhood down here in Florida." I believe that. Well, that's what they have to talk about.
Talking about that, sometimes it does give that impression that they're.
No, but I totally believe that. That is a true fucking statement because that's how they talk. That's what I'm saying. And the ones that are talking about it, Irby, the adults, they're my age, and they never went through that.
Yeah, they're like 30, 40 years old talking about
40, 50 years old.
Victimized by communism.
They're in their 50s. My mother's in her 70s. My mother was in her 70s.
Yeah.
Ramon, she came in 50. No, she came in 60 something. She was still a kid. Right. She's my mother. So that means that the ones that are talking shit now are my age. Marco Rubio and all that.
Your mom can talk about that because she actually lived it. She actually came from there and she actually.
But she didn't live that many years of it. That's what I'm trying to say because she was still young too. You understand what I'm saying? She was born in the 50s. She was still young too. So
that's what I don't understand. The Miami Cubans that are so mad about the communism, but
they're following what their grandparents were saying. These are their grandparents talking. Right? They're not the Marielitos talking. It's not the Marielitos that are talking. It's the ones that when their grandparents came here. And I'm like, what do they think Cuba's going to be? ¿Qué tú crees que tú vas a reclamar cuando se cae la dictadura? What you going to do? Because I believe that those grandkids will want to go back to whatever they think that they have over there when they don't have it.
Yeah, you were talking about that because they think they have property.
I swear, I think they do. I swear that they who just I think Blood Moon said they have that American mindset. Yeah, they're gonna try to do that. Cubans don't have gangs taking over the island. Not yet.
No.
You know, they had it before during Batista.
Not yet, that's true.
Yeah, they had it during Batista because, like I said, and I'm not, you know, like I'm trying to make it like Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah, they think it's gonna be like Puerto Rico, not understanding that Puerto Rico has economic constraints that is already making it a banana republic.
Hard for the actual people, the natives there.
Is basically a banana republic right now. Okay, yes, we have the passport. Yes,
the passport. You have the benefits. You know, some of the perks of American. You can't vote for a president though.
No, we can vote for president, and
they affect your daily life, but you can't vote. You can't vote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and they think that we are supposed to be so thankful about that, but they don't know our history, and they don't know what is it that we're dealing with. And we're dealing with La Junta, which is exploiting further the island. And but there is also the local leadership, which is also very corrupt, and that part is on us. It's on us because. My people, when they vote for the local leadership, they keep voting in the same people, and they're like that. They're not learning. That's one thing. But there is also the fact that it is basically functioning as an old school colony.
I think it's systematically done that way, though. It don't matter who y'all voting. It's still going to be somebody who's going to be working with this government. People who are starving don't give a damn about voting for anyone. They want real meat. And Blood Moon, they haven't had it. When I see what these Miami Cubans be making, you know, besides what they call Cuban food, and I'm like, I never ate that because I come from old Cubans. We didn't eat that when you know when my grandmother was here. They still had meat. They had all these things. You know what I'm saying? That they don't see. They haven't seen the past 20, 30 years. Well, give me a second, Ramon. Give me 1 second.
Okay. While Titi comes back, I'm gonna be looking at the.
I'm sorry.
No. I was just kind of like talking to the chat, and I wasn't looking at the posts. And I want to make sure, just in case he's still listening, I want to give a shout out to Jose Negron. I haven't talked to you in a while. We need to catch up because I know that I'm not online as much as I maybe should. But we need to talk soon. And I'm looking at the comment from Rich Martinez, which is true. The whole thing about the Jones Act that has been in place since 1920 and has been depriving economically the island. And because the island can't do trade directly with other countries, which will contribute to the economy and contribute to us being able to get goods and services at a more reasonable price. But no, everything has to come from the United States and the U.S. Merchant Navy, which is the most expensive in the world. So that adds something that is the arbitrios, what is called arbitrios, which is literally an arbitrary tax. It's an arbitrary tax for the transport of goods to the island via the U.S. Merchant Navy, which is the most expensive in the world. So everything costs about 15 to 20% more. That's the Jones Act for you.
And this one too, the way he just mentioned, also Section 936 with big pharmaceutical companies not paying any federal tax. That's crazy. So, you know...
either none or next to nothing.
That's crazy.
And what compounds the problem are the rich people that moves into the island and take and there is something called Act 60, and that's with that whole tax credits that allow for foreigners that live on the island to pay next to zero tax or next to zero tax, which are tax incentives that the locals can take advantage of. So we're being squeezed. My people on the island are being squeezed the hell out of their money, while the rich people can go to the island, move to the island, pay next to no taxes, and act like assholes towards us, and act like they own the beach.
I've seen those videos. I'm like, oh my god, because they're doing that in the Bahamas too. You know.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like, even though the Bahamas isn't a territory, but there's people buying a property there, and they're acting like they're telling the locals who they have the same privileges and rights the way you guys do with the beaches, that it belongs to the people.
Yeah,
and like, you own private property. They're like, what private property? Oh, I bought the house right there. Okay, yeah, that's your house, but you don't own the beach.
House, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they own the shoreline, that they own the beach. And by law, at least by law in Puerto Rico, the beach is public domain. All around the island is supposed to be public domain, but apparently they're bribing somebody in office that is allowing them to do things that are against the laws, like trying to build too close to the sand, trying to build too close to the beach, trying to cordon off sections of the beach that is supposed to be public domain. And there have been confrontations about it, and trying to set up kind of like fencing that will lead.
Yeah, that's not cool, right? Because then their property or their part of it is going to be kept nice, but then what's left over for the public, not because they're not gonna.
Yeah.
You know, they're not gonna take care of it. You know, so it's like.
Yeah, they're gonna be tossing garbage outside of that, but no, that's the law, the local law, and the beach is supposed to be public domain, public access to people that want to enjoy the beach. But there are these outsiders that come in and they think that they own the beach, and there have been confrontations with them, with the gringos, and that's why there are islanders that tell them, like, gringo, go home. Because they go to the island, they act like assholes, and then they cry.
Like very entitled, right? And that's what's going to happen to Cuba. They're going to learn that they're going to get the same treatment. You know, the same way that he started letting you vote for him, and then deporting your ass is going to be the same thing when he takes over your country too. And you're going to be like, oh, then y'all going to start complaining about what's going on in your country after you was online all over the place saying, yeah, libertad, you know what I'm saying? Saca la dictadura. You're going to see what it's like to have la próxima dictadura.
Anybody that advocates for some other country to invade the land of their people, of the group that they belong to,
for no reason, like they're not doing it on a humanitarian level. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, because if you were, you wouldn't starve the people out. You wouldn't make them lose power and all that. You wouldn't do that. Let me play my next video, Ramon. This is the next video of someone in Cuba. Oh, wait, let me see what he said. Look at what's happening with all the Airbnbs. American corporations are taking over the island.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's driving up the cost of living. and that's what the song, the Bad Bunny song, Lo que le pasó a Hawaii, that's what the song is about.
But aren't they trying to now damn, I just lost it. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I just lost it. I hate when that happens.
Trying to do what?
I just lost it. I wanted to say, aren't they trying to do something?
It'll come back to you.
Oh my god, la jefe, I tell you.
Yeah.
La jefe. Yes, Irby, that's my whole point. I'm not saying, of course, I don't want Cuba to be the way it is, because I have yet to visit Cuba. You know, and my mom says she was never going to go back to Cuba until the dictatorship is out. And my grandmother only went back like twice, 2 or 3 times, you know? So it's like, I want to visit it, and I want to visit it under good circumstances. I used to beg to go to Cuba when I was little. And my grandmother was like, tú no puedes estar ni 2 días en Cuba when you see that you can't eat what you want to eat. Porque ya era comelona. So she was like, you can't go. And I was like 9 or 10
Well,
years old.
there's
I went to
tourism
go.
there. There is tourism.
Yeah,
So,
but where she was going wasn't for the tourists. You know what I'm saying? Like she was going to go see family and all that. You know, I'm sure she didn't have like that. Blood Moon is mad. DR is not the center of attention in the Caribbean right now, other than the Epstein files. Whoa,
well,
those are fighting words, Irby.
unfortunately, the president, the current Dominican president, was at that meeting that I was mentioning earlier. I hope that they're not trying to get Dominicans to volunteer for the war. To join them, that's what that meeting was about. Trying to
Really?
Yeah. That recent meeting that Agent Orange was having with other Latin American leaders. That's what that was about. He was trying to get some type of coalition.
I didn't know Dominican Republic was a part of that too. Oh,
Yeah. I know that the president was there. I think what's his name? Abinader.
Yeah.
He was at that meeting along Bukele, Noboa of Ecuador, Javier Milei of Argentina. Yeah, and so
No, where did you see that at? Because I didn't see anything about that.
it was a kind of like a summit, a meeting, a summit. Something about the shield something. Shield something. I don't remember what the name was, but it was recently. You can look that up. Like a summit where Trump and Latin American leaders were talking about. He was trying to gain support for kind of like a coalition where volunteers will join the war. Obviously, because so many people here in the States don't want to go to the damn war. So they're fighting for somebody else's war.
Okay, here comes the rebuttal. Well, the DR is the richest island in the Caribbean, so people just go there to enjoy themselves however they want. Bam, bam. Okay, so let me play the next video. Where are we at? Cuba. Oh, here we go.
La situación, la misma que tenemos hace 67 años. Hambre, churra, necesidad. El bloqueo ahora, si el bloqueo hace 67 años que existe. Porque no era bloqueo, era en banco financiero. Y ahora es bloqueo. Ahora le cambiaron el nombre para podernos poner más peor de lo que estamos. No hay petróleo para recoger la basura. No hay petróleo para ir al hospital. No hay petróleo para la guagua de trabajo. Pero sí hay petróleo para la PNR. Para el combo ese que anda por ahí, acabando. Te paran y no te preguntan, sube y monta, te están imitando a la gente en México, como si fuéramos los peores delincuentes del mundo.
Cuéntame eso de los precios.
¿Precios? ¿De qué tú me estás hablando, mi sobrina? ¿Precios ahora mismo?
De lo más básico.
De lo más básico, un jabón de baño que no hace ni espuma vale 170 pesos. El de la bodega te lo dan cada 3 meses. La diente, no me hables de pasta de diente, que la pasta de diente vale 600 pesos. Y en la bodega te dan la mierda que te dan cada 3 meses. La sal, una isla llena de agua, de mar y maizal. 200 y 300 pesos la sal, las MIPYME la tienen a 700 pesos. Ahora mismo se perdió el aceite. ¿Con qué vamos a cocinar? En la tienda. ¿Tú sabes cuánto vale un pomo de aceite ahora mismo en las MIPYME? 1.500 pesos. Y yo cobro 2.500 por limpiar un piso. ¿Qué hago? Ni como huevo, ni como con aceite. He dicho.
Ain't that some? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. And they're always walking with a bag, right? Because they don't know what they're gonna get that day. They have a bag por si acaso encuentran algo en la calle, una vecina le regala algo. They always got a freaking bag for something. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Y cuando ella estaba hablando de la pata de diente, because if in all those countries, when it be like that, if you notice the people, the first thing that goes with them is their teeth. Their teeth is always fucked up because they have the best doctors, but they don't have no dental, nothing over there to go to.
They might have doctors, but they don't have the resources to support the knowledge that the doctors have. That's why they may have the good dentists, but they don't have the resources.
That's in another country.
So they do proper practice for what they studied, and how, because of pressure by the United States, there are several Latin American countries that are not going to have that cooperation thing where they will let Cuban doctors to come to their countries to help. There was a kind of like an agreement of cooperation between Cuba and other Latin American countries, but now because Agent Orange is telling them not to hire them, now all of the countries that have Cuban doctors are sending them back.
Labuda stupid. She said she needs a different hair color, money for hair dye and complaining about food. Imagínate, si no hay pa pasta de dientes, where she's gonna get the hair dye, Blamu?
She might be.
That could be the gray hair that turned yellow.
Well, maybe she got in a hold of some peroxide or something.
Bro, yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, peroxide. Wait, Ramon calling Trump. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing.
Well, the guy literally uses orange makeup to look the way he does. He's pasty white. He looks orange because of the makeup. And the vice president is someone that also wears makeup. He wears eyeliner.
But he's even losing his hair though. When I was watching him talk, I was like, oh, he's losing. I could see his scalp.
Yeah, he's always combed his hair funny to cover the bald spots.
But it's worse now. So it's like, because what is he? He's going to be 80 if he's not 80 already, right? He was 79. He's 80 years old.
Yeah, I think he's about to be 80, because I remember last year for his birthday he had that parade of miserable soldiers with the noisy tanks. That was in April, something like that.
Okay, so it's coming up. So he's going to be 80 soon then.
Something like that.
I think I got one more video, and then this shows me the opposite of what's going on. But it's the music over there, and I love Reparto, Ramon. I just started getting into it because I'm seeing it so much on social media. But let me play this. I know I'm probably gonna have to edit this out of the stream. Probably this in a couple of videos. So if you ever go back and look at it in years, I'm just going wah. It's because YouTube gives you an option to edit out whatever is copyrighted, you know? Okay, hold on a second. And for this one, they're probably going to copyright me for it too.
I like to think that is something that is happening spontaneously. Hopefully, that has nothing to do with the government.
That's the hottest song out now. That's the hottest Reparto song out now. So they just had I guess somebody who had some instruments and they started playing it. But that me too, titi too. That's the only part of the song I really know.
What part?
He says me too, titi too. Me too, titi, me too, titi, me too, titi, me too, titi.
So that's stuck in your head now.
Yes, and the guy that sings it, as a matter of fact, I think I have it on this little intro that I did. I'm playing in a minute. He reminds me of Tupac. So, but it's not Tupac, yeah. And then he has a collaboration with somebody else there.
Well, there was this theory. There was this theory that Tupac was actually in Cuba. And Eminem says something like that in a lyric of one of his songs, that he said something about that's why Tupac went to Cuba on us, something like that.
Would that be something if he did? But I doubt it. I mean, I doubt it.
Yeah, it's something that Eminem said in a lyric. You can look it up. That Tupac had gone.
I'm into conspiracy theories, but I don't know, for some reason I never believed Tupac was in Cuba. He might be alive, but I don't think he's in Cuba.
No, it's not Tupac Shakur who was in Cuba. It was Assata Shakur. That's who was in Cuba.
Well, Sata, okay, no, okay.
Yeah, some people might confuse that, but I do remember that there was an Eminem song in which he mentioned something about Tupac being in Cuba.
Okay.
Like he didn't really die.
Right.
But I think again that's
what they say.
Yeah, they say that.
Yeah, it's an urban legend. I guess they want to believe that. I don't
Yeah.
know. But yeah, that's that's the genre that these Cubans listen to. It's called hip hop. And supposedly it's in Cuba and Peru too. Peru has their own version. But yeah, it's I like it. It's catchy. The music, and they have old people doing it, the young people. So it's cool.
It's not bad. It's all right.
Well, yeah, that's all my videos. Is there anything you want to talk about that I haven't touched? Blood Moon finds politics so boring, but I don't know what else to talk about, Blood Moon, because politics is the thing right now. Unless you're gonna go into hip hop, and you don't listen to hip hop. There's a lot of hip hop news going on.
It can be boring, but right now it's not dull. It's not dull.
It's definitely not dull. If I'm talking about it, it's not dull because I've never cared.
It can make one a bit uneasy and a bit nervous, and
yeah.
You sure it's not dull right now?
I mean, like I'm like, what? But what else is there that that people want to talk about? And I don't see. And I'm on social media all the time, and I really don't see much.
No, he's flooded. The social media, whichever social media you're using, it's just flooded with all of this thing with the politics and the war, and it's flooded with that. I have to put it down. I do like to try to catch up and be up to date as to what's happening, but at certain point I have to put the phone down because I'm gonna get depressed. I don't want to get numb. I don't want to be sad or pissed or unease.
That's why I try not to take it too seriously. Even though there's a lot of excuse me, even though there's a lot of seriousness going on, I guess I find some sarcastic humor in what's going on. And that's how I do my shorts because it is entertaining. It's Calle Ocho month. Really? Ocho month? Isn't this Hispanic Heritage Month? Isn't it in March? I think it is.
Well, I'm not sure.
I guess Irby's gonna be there in Calle Ocho.
Yeah, Calle Ocho in Miami.
I've never been. I don't know if Fulana's been there, but I've never been.
Yeah, I have been hearing about that my whole life, but I've never been to Miami. So
yeah. Apparently, Irby's been to Calle Ocho. But what he said, one option to talk about is the achievements that women have made. What women, Jose? Recently? Women? Oh, you know what I should have uploaded? Melania talk.
That was like the UN security meeting.
Is that what that was? I was like, ay, qué horrible.
No. Okay, she was having to read, and that was with difficulty. Everything she was saying was read, and it was with difficulty.
March is Women's History Month. Okay.
The hypocrisy of it. We're supposed to. They're trying to get the immigrants out, but the first lady is an immigrant that can't read.
The main one.
No,
she can read. She can't speak. She can read because it's hard to understand her. And I'm like, or maybe it's hard for her to, when you speak, when English is your second language.
Mail order, right?
And especially an Eastern European accent, it's hard for them to like. It's because she's been here forever, so she should have grasped it a little bit better.
Here for a while, so
she should have
her accent should be
better, right?
By now,
she speak it better, but it's hard to like understand her. When my mother used to speak it, she used to try to force her words to enunciate so you understood. So sometimes it's like, I'm like, mommy, what are you trying to say? Because she's trying to enunciate her words so she can say it properly, But Melania, no, I didn't understand. But I was like, what a joke when I was watching that. I was like, does anybody want to hear about that? Because I'm just like, she's boring.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
you don't like Agent Orange, but he's he's entertaining. He's interesting. He keeps things, Women have been successful in many areas. Also, he said this is women. He said March is Women's History Month. I gotcha. You know, I didn't look up too much, Jose. I mean, but you're welcome to hit the panel. But I don't know. Is there anything else? I mean, I want to cover more on Cuba as things is like, and I don't want to see, you know, anything bad happen, but I want them to speed it up already. If you're gonna do something, do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see where this is gonna go. The anticipation is like what's killing me. You know. Anticipating what's gonna happen.
To be perfectly honest, that's not a priority. That's not a priority.
No, but he's stopping people from messing with them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a group that was Americans that are sending aid over there and all that, and they try to call them communists and terrorists. They're doing humanitarian stuff. They're not getting in any well, it's political because of the blockade, but they're trying to help the people there. They're not trying to help Canelo. They're trying to help the people there. You know.
Yeah.
Lately, my internet's been lagging. Is mine lagging? I'm sorry.
No, yeah, you were kind of breaking up a little bit. Yeah, the blockade that the Miami Cubans deny that is happening, because because that's for them to deny that there is a blockade. It's been happening forever, but they say the Miami Cubans go on and on talking about that. That's not a thing. Because saying that it's a blockade, admitting that there is a blockade, that will mean that one will have to criticize the government, which is something that they don't do. That they don't want to do.
No, and they don't want to go over there themselves. Why don't they round 1,000 couple people and get on the boat and go over there and do something? Tanto que hablan, you waiting for Trump to do it, and what troops are going to go over there? I haven't heard anybody say that I'm going to volunteer to go to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? Let's round up some troops because I'm a volunteer to go to Cuba. Morena and I don't care about women. We're misogynists. That's right, Blue Moon.
Okay. Well,
man.
I'm supposed to be the misogynist here.
I wish Blue Moon would hit the panel, yo. I swear I wish you would hit the panel.
I was waiting for somebody to call me that, because sometimes I call out the BS from certain women, but not as I don't call women names.
Because I don't I don't focus on genders in that manner. Otherwise, maybe that should be my next stream. That'll get everybody going, right? We can start bitching about men and women.
Oh, it's gonna be a fight.
But me, I think, you know what? Maybe I'll look for something like that so I can hone in on that particular topic. Yeah, but I don't see nothing about it. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like
a lot of those subjects are already kind of played out online,
right?
the whole thing, men arguing with women. I don't argue with women. I don't do that.
We can discuss it without arguing. Like we can, because you know what I'm saying, say our points without having to really get emotional about it and argue about it. I mean, I guess you're right. It is kind of old, because when I used to get into it, like, you know, into the conversation, I was getting kind of emotional about it.
Yeah. One can take a little bit personal, and then they start cussing each other out, and you will see it. You will see it online on those live streams from a couple of years back. It was in the middle of the pandemic, and that's why
emotions were heightened.
Oh yeah, and we were getting in. People were getting into arguments either that had something that had
the internet became brand new again, right?
Or things that had to do with race.
Right, because YouTube has been out for a while. I forgot who I was talking to. I was like, I only use YouTube to listen to music and, you know, like watch some videos, but I didn't really use it, you know, for like this. I didn't know about live streams and it being so interactive, like, you know, and Facebook.
I didn't care. I didn't care. I wasn't doing anything about live streaming because it wasn't so much of a thing, but the pandemic hit. And that's what kind of forced people to go online to interact with each other more.
And I was like, wow, it's a whole new world here. I loved it.
Because of the whole thing with the pandemic, that's what got me in contact with somebody like Christina, like Xtina.
Yeah, I remember you started going on
Instagram. With me. After that, I wasn't a content creator at all, and I wouldn't do live streams and all. What's going on, Jose?
Good evening, or more like good morning, people. Thank you very much for allowing me on the panel.
The time went back, right? It's supposed to go forward.
It's Sunday morning over here in New York, so
Okay. I thought the time was supposed to go forward this week.
I
Sunday.
think it was today.
Okay. At 2 o'clock, right?
Well, I never get it right, either forward or backward. So it's
I
gonna
don't know,
be
but I'll be losing sleep. I think it's forward. I'm gonna be losing sleep. So
yeah. So I'm gonna be keeping an eye on that tomorrow to see if something changes on my phone. And I have a different. I have a different time on my clock than on my phone, and make sure that I'm sure that I don't go late for work on Monday.
Oh, well, just pay attention to your cell phone, and you don't got to worry about that. The cell phone is automatic, which is what I love.
Yeah.
So what's up, Jose? What's with this Women's Month thingy?
No, I was just making a suggestion. Being that it is Women's History Month, and focusing on the achievement that women have made, because a lot of people just think women are just like the weakest sex and what have you. And I just, we need to highlight that, women have done great things like in politics and business and in sports and things of that nature.
Right. That's true. I haven't really looked on anything for any women's achievements,
Okay, so daylight saving time, that should be changing tomorrow. I looked that up.
Hey. Oh, well, tomorrow, Sunday, right? At like 2 o'clock in the morning? I think that's when it makes that change. It always says like 2 o'clock in the morning or something. Okay, so what?
Already.
Yes. This week, we're almost going to be halfway through the year, too. So wait, when are the midterms? Isn't the midterms this month? But now since we're in this war, that's on pause?
Yeah, well, part of the reason that there is a war to begin with is because somebody from the land formerly known as Canaan may have given the order to strike. That will be part of it. Part of that is that there has to be a war so they can cancel the midterms, because that is that allegation. That is, there is a war, then they can cancel the midterms, keep the war going, and then there is not going to be any elections, and there won't be any general elections, so that Agent Orange can stay in power as until he kills over. And we're gonna be because of it. But the way that the war is going, I don't think that it's gonna be a 20-year war with Iran. Iran is not Iraq. Iran is not Afghanistan. Iran is not Libya. So I don't think it's gonna be
Hold on, there was one video. I knew there was one, but let me play this last video regarding what's going on over there, and then you can continue, Ramon. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
우리는 전쟁을 바라지 않지만 결코 피할 생각 또한 없습니다. 전쟁이라는 선택을 할 그 어떤 이유도 없으며 따라서 일방적으로 결행할 의도도 없지만 일단 전쟁이 우리 앞에 현실로 다가온다면 절대로 피하는 데 노력하지 않을 것이며 자기의 자주권 사수와 인민의 안전, 생존권을 수호하여 우리는 철저히 준비된 행동에 완벽하고 신속하게 임할 것입니다. 우리는 전쟁을 바라지 않
My apologies, people. I'm the subtitle queen, so I don't care what language it's in. As long as they have subtitles and I know what they're saying, I'm all with it. The haircut, please. The energy, Irby. Forget the haircut. I didn't even need the subtitles to know basically what he was saying when he was.
I grew up reading subtitles, so I don't mind.
Me neither. So he was waiting to jump in for what I'm saying, but his 2 cents. I'm sorry, Jose.
But so we mustn't talk about the supreme leader, because according to him, North Korea is the land of paradise. It's heaven on earth when the people won't starve, and then the West is so evil, and etc. etc. etc.
Oh yeah. Kim Jong-un is one of Agent Orange's heroes. He's one of those guys. That's one of those guys who he wants to be like. I mean, that along with Vladimir Putin and Erdogan. Those are the guys that he looks up to. He wants to be like, and of course the guy in the land formerly known as Canaan. he wants to be as bloodthirsty as that other guy is.
Scary times.
Yeah, it is.
Scary times.
Yep.
So before I cut her, what were you saying, Ramon? Before I cut you off and played the video,
I might have. I forgot. I forgot because I focused on what you were showing, and my train of thought went somewhere else. So
my bad.
It's all right.
Ramon, are you having an elderly moment?
An elderly what?
A senior moment.
A senior moment? Not yet. I mean, I did turn 50, but I don't think I'm there yet. It's just that it can happen. It can happen.
Oh, happy birthday! Welcome to the 50/50 Club.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Welcome to the 50/50 Club. When was your birthday, Ramon?
That was back in August. That was back in August. I'm actually
August. Okay, so you're gonna be 51.
Yeah, I'm actually closer to get to 51. So
Gotcha.
We're already getting there.
Well,
okay.
I'm
officially
be 64 in October.
officially middle aged now.
Man, you're there already, Ramon. Forget it. 50, please. Yeah, over the hill. ¿Qué te pasaste?
Yeah, that's not worth a damn anymore. I got it.
What is Jose's words of wisdom now? Because he's out of the 50/50 Club. What's your words of wisdom now? What do we have to look forward to?
No,
Jose?
I'm gonna be. Look, I know for a fact I'm a senior citizen. I'm gonna be 64 in October.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
But I'm
I want to get old. I want to get old, Jose.
Better.
Yeah, I want to get old. I mean, people talk about being old, but I want to get old. I don't want to die. I don't want to go no time soon. There's a lot more to do and see and stuff.
Yes.
I don't want to die. I want to get old. I want to be old.
Yeah.
Or I want to get there, you know?
Well,
yeah, it's up to us.
But not, I have lost over 60 pounds.
Oh, congratulations.
Over
60?
Over 60 pounds? Man, I need to talk to you about that because I need to lose I need to lose a few myself.
Sure, me too.
I could use a few less pounds because I have clothes that are almost new because I expanded sideways and now I can't wear them anymore. But I have clothes in good condition, but I need to trim down a bit so I can fit back in them. So yeah.
Believe it or not, I've gone down from a size 48 to a size 42.
Oh,
and I'm between 44 and 46, something like that, waist size. So I could trim down a little bit.
So you have a bigger waist than I have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Ramon, you got some height, so you got some room to play with. When you're tall, you got room to play with the weight.
Yeah. I mean, because my shoulders, my kind of like my upper torso is still wider. So if you see me from the front, I don't really look that heavy. I don't really look heavy like that. But if you see me sideways, you realize that I have a big ass. So and I don't like it. So that's where a lot of my weight is located.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the secret. Ozempic.
Oh, really? So that did work. I've been hearing contradicting stories about Ozempic. For some people it works. For other people it could be dangerous.
Well, I think it's working and it is dangerous, right? You see Oprah, they got that bobblehead look. You know, you get on Ozempic
because she got
your head gets real big. Kelly Osbourne looks ridiculous. This Puerto Rican woman said that was brujeria. They did, sir. I saw a video. They said it was brujeria because when she was on The View, and she was talking about when Trump was talking about getting rid of the immigrants, another immigrant type of comment, and she said, "And who's going to clean our houses and this and this and that?" Like, you know, she said that, and it was like, "Yep." When she said that, she set herself up. Le hicimos una brujeria, and look at her now. I was like, man, she's unrecognizable. I didn't even know that was her. She looks horrible.
Jose, I really hope that that doesn't have
But you don't got the bobblehead look?
Yeah. No, I don't want to see that Jose with a bobblehead look. I mean,
Oh, speaking of bobblehead, I think I have a. I was on ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Yeah, and you can make like different like avatars. Oh man, I didn't upload that one. Oh man, let me see if I can upload it.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a budget.
I don't
Is it like
want
a bobblehead
to.
thing?
For some reason, I don't want to touch ChatGPT. I don't know. I don't know. If that's
I don't put anything in there I'm afraid of. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you know what, Ramon? Everything, no. Big Brother's watching everything. ChatGPT is just a little bit closer. But como yo no estoy haciendo nada, I don't have to worry about what they know. You know what I'm saying? If you're into stuff you shouldn't be into, then you got to worry about Big Brother all up in your business. Oh, man, I didn't download the bobblehead. Hold on, let me download the bobblehead.
But you know something? I think it all depends on the person, because the only thing it does is basically curb my appetite. So I'm not eating as much.
That's what I need. Something to curb my appetite, but nothing has worked. Oh yeah, this is. Let me see. Let me see if I can get this loaded.
It is expensive if you don't have diabetes.
Right. So if you're heavy, they'll. I know doctors that if you're heavy, they will say you have some sort of diabetes or some shit like that. Then you can get it. Depends on which doctors will work with you.
I read that Irby says that Irby likes older women. You're into
Really like Fulana. That scares me. That since I've been on YouTube for the past 5 or 6 years, all these men that like all these older women, these younger men, and that's a little spooky. Irby.
Well, because they like a man.
You want to be taken care of? They want a cougar?
No,
mamitis.
That is the mamitis.
No, look, Fulana pops up.
Oh, here we go. Here she comes. Come on, Fulana.
And Fulana pops up.
She might do some cougar shit.
She said, older woman, Irby's calling me. Oh my gosh.
Well, you know what?
The internet sounds fine.
Nothing necessarily wrong with a cougar. But then again, a cougar, a cougar for me, somebody it will be somebody's grandma. I'm not trying to be with somebody's grandma.
Now that you're 50, so you somebody 20 years older than you, right? That would be 70.
I'm not trying to be with somebody that old. Ew. No.
I like to think of them as I like to.
What you say?
I like to think of them as when. I like to think of them with.
Trying to say like that. That's what that would be like, man. You what?
I like to think of them as women with experience.
Well, I mean, a woman that is already grown, that already knows herself. That she doesn't have time to waste, no time for bullshit, then that's great. That's great, because there are too many of the younger women. Yeah, they may be cuter, they may be more physically attractive, but they are goofy minded, and they are into wasting somebody's time and they playing games.
So you're willing to sacrifice that? So you're willing to sacrifice that for a cougar?
Not necessarily a cougar, just grown, still fine, but grown. Yeah, I think that I'm more into that now, because of my age. I can't be trying to get with an 18-year-old, because some people will try to label me as a creep, and I'm not trying to be seen as that.
Exactly.
So kind of like grown, but still younger than me.
It won't get the whole body, but okay, it still looks like a bobblehead.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me look 20 years younger. So hold on a second. Oh, you see it?
Sure. You're putting that one all over the place.
That's my bobblehead. No, look, Jose doesn't have a bobblehead. You definitely look a lot slimmer, but no bobblehead.
Yeah.
That's a bobblehead. 18 with the what she said? 18 with poor 50 is creepy. 18 with a rich
With
is
the rich-
disgusting, but it looks better.
Nah, a lot of 18-year-olds will get with a 50-year-old. 50-year-old? No. All of a sudden, that makes him look more attractive.
That was what's the name? Anna Nicole with that man. Oh, that was disgusting.
Oh, that guy was like 90 something.
It was disgusting.
That guy was past old.
Every time he tried to kiss her, I was like, oh,
That guy wasn't old. He was
My
ancient.
mouth. Ancient wasn't the word. I was like, this man got 1 foot in the grave. She ain't stupid. But her family fought her tooth and nail.
That guy looked like a mummy. That could
Yeah,
move.
exactly. No tenía diente ni. Oh, it was disgusting.
That's how old he was.
I'm sure he wore diapers and everything. Leo DiCaprio's 50. Wow, I feel old. He's 50.
Yeah,
His girlfriend's always under 25.
I don't know if he's still dating the way he's always had, because he will get with a 20-year-old and he will be with her for like 5 years, and by the time she will turn 25, he will dump her and get another young thing. But he's like 50 years old himself now, so I don't know if that will be appropriate to be playing that game.
Well, my girlfriend is currently 20 years younger than I am.
Oh, I thought you were going to say she's 20 years old.
That's what I thought.
You don't see how, you don't want to know how big my eyes got when he started saying, I was like, 20?
For a moment, I thought it was okay. He was gonna say that he's 23.
I thought he said,
No.
I didn't get to let him finish. He said, my girlfriend is 20 years younger. I didn't get to. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well, that's not bad. You're 64, so she's in her 40s. That's not bad.
Yeah, she's actually correction. She's like 23 years younger, something like that.
She just turned 40.
Yeah.
She's still in the 40s.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not a bad age difference. 23. Oh, Irby's correcting it. Damn, Irby. Damn. Damn, Fulana, I thought you fell asleep, girl. But yeah, okay, so this is women's. You know what? Because I work from home. This would have been we would have been celebrating it in the office.
Of course, if she does decide, of course.
So you breaking up? You hear him, Ramon?
You're breaking up a little bit, Jose.
Oh,
I can't hear you.
Okay. Thought it was just me.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just saying that if Clara decides to marry me and move to, she'll have to move to New York.
Where's she at? Where's she at now?
The Dominican Republic.
Oh, she's not gonna want to leave Dominican Republic. I wouldn't want to leave Dominican Republic.
No.
Be in the cold.
That nice tropical weather to freeze with you up there. Come on.
Be in New York City.
I mean, come on now. We just had 2 weeks of beautiful cold weather in January.
That's not cold weather and beautiful don't go together. I mean, cold weather and depressing go together, but cold weather and beautiful that doesn't go together. That's fucking depressing.
You guys have two big ass snowstorms, and I'm glad I don't have to drive in that shit. I'm so glad I don't have to drive in that shit.
I mean, those 2 weeks when the temperature actually reached close to zero, I was happier than pig and slop.
Oh no!
Well, speak for yourself. I mean,
did you have to go outside or walk in that weather? Because that's not good, especially when I see dog piss and shit in the garbage piling up by all that fucking snow. No parking if you drive a car.
Fortunately for me, I work remotely 2 days out of the week.
Yeah, but you had 2 weeks worth of snow, 2 or 3 weeks worth of snow.
I know.
Oh no. No.
I mean, I mean, for those 2 weeks, I was like a kid on Christmas time.
When the snow first falls, it's beautiful. Yeah, and that's if it falls at night. Then by the morning, by the time people start going to work and commuting, the slush, in New York, it looks horrible. In New Jersey, it used to look beautiful. In New York, it looks bad. New York City, not New York State, New York City. So I don't know, Jose. I don't know. I was just like, I'm glad I don't drive it no more. I used to grip that steering wheel like my hands were getting numb gripping that shit, hoping I didn't crash or nothing. I hate driving in the snow.
Well, I think we're making up for all the winters when we didn't have a lot of snow previously.
Oh, somebody heard you. Your fairy godmother heard you. I said, Jose wants snow.
No, I don't like snow.
Mm-mm.
Yes, you do. You're denying it now?
No, I don't. No.
What
I
is going to
love
be
cold.
70 degrees? Oh, wow. That's an extreme. From 2 weeks ago, you guys had a snowstorm, and now it's going to be 70 degrees. So hopefully all that snow will be gone. Jose's going to be pissed off. 70 degrees? There's
Oh, yeah,
barely
yeah.
any snow left. Oh, okay.
It's gonna be melting. It's gonna be melting like a candle.
She said there's barely any snow left. Okay. Okay, so it went away pretty good. Well, that's good. It went away pretty fast.
Well, you know what's going to happen the first day of spring? I'm going to begin my official countdown to the first day of winter.
Oh God.
Okay, you do a countdown for the first day of summer. That's a good time of the year. Talking about that you want to be winter again. Well,
You know
still
where you should move to? Alaska. Even though the spring is beautiful, you should move to Alaska. I heard their winters are epic. That's where we were supposed to be going to, Alaska. Doesn't Jose retire this year? Do you retire this year, Jose?
Actually, I may retire next year.
Why are you waiting an extra year? If you don't mind me asking.
Because I want to retire on my own terms.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because by the time that I reach 65, I'll be making more money as a retiree compared to working.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's when it's not even worth working. Yeah. Okay.
Ah, that's good.
Nice. So you should move to DR instead of trying to get her to move here. Move to DR.
Yes.
And only visit. That's what my father does. He moved there and then he comes here in the summertime. He won't come here in the winter. He'll come in the summer because he don't want to deal with the winters.
Knowing me, I'll probably come in the wintertime.
Oh my God. You'll be coming by yourself. They'll be like, let me know. How long are you going to stay out there? How long are you going to stay out there? He said he was 64 at Blood Moon. You're not paying attention. He said he was 64.
But I do plan to keep myself busy during my retirement.
Oh, okay. What are your plans?
That's good.
Well,
What are your
I'll
plans?
still be active. Well, I'll still be active with my union, number one, plus the 2 senior citizen centers in my area. So between all of that, that's going to keep me busy.
My grandmother used to call when she lived in a independent senior housing, and when I used to call, I'd be like, "Mima, ¿qué tú estás haciendo?" Aquí en a daycare. She used to call the senior citizens thing a daycare. That's where they would go to play dominoes, eat lunch, play bingo or whatever.
Mm.
It's like, they put us over here. They put all the old people here so they can watch us all at the same time. Oh my God.
And of course, I'm going to travel as well.
That's what you should be looking forward to, traveling.
Mm-hmm.
You should always be like, where's Jose off to now? Take a lot of cruises too, Jose.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
They got good
definitely
prices on cruises.
definitely what's on my bucket list is Europe.
No, you're not, Jose. I mean, Rob. Rob is talking about us then. He said he's live streaming my stream. Peace, Rob. You hear my voice sound all effed up?
Good evening.
Thank you, Rob. Don't get on me too bad, okay? This is the Hispanic stream, okay? Because Rob be getting raggedy ratchet on his channel. He comes over here to behave and he gets super ratchet on his channel. Fulana, go watch his channel. Listen to him, see what he's talking about. Have a good stream, Rob. And give me some of that YouTube money because you making money.
Well,
you making money.
Well, believe it or not, I'm at 1,850 subs.
1,800 already?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations. Congratulations. What's the secret? Rob and Jose got to tell me the secret because they're both past 1,000 subs already.
Well, I do a lot of short videos.
Oh, me too, but I don't go live too often.
Wow.
People tell me to go live. Are you monetized already?
Not yet because I don't have the watch time. But I'm working on it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, Rob has the subs and the watch time hours.
In fact, I'm one of the. In fact, I think.
Let me see what he's talking about. I can't believe he's.
In fact, I think we're the only ones that actually still do content on a regular basis.
All right. There is something, Titi. There is something I want you to see. Let me see if I can share that. If I remember how to share the screen, but you will have to give the okay. Let me see if I can.
Oh, okay. he's a live liar. I'm trying to go see if you're live, Rob, to see what you stream. Let me watch. Listen to her boring ass stream. Okay, let me see.
Can you see what
yeah, that's what it was. Yep, that's exactly what it was.
That's what you're talking about, right? Because that's what I remember from back home with the yellow wrapping. Yeah. That's something that's kind of like dark chocolate. It doesn't have any sugar, or it was low on sugar, and you will use it to have like hot chocolate. That's how it was back home.
But there's a Dominican brand though, and it has to go labeled. What's the name of the Dominican brand? Blood Moon. I definitely seen that one, Ramon. I definitely seen that one. How do you do that? How do you share it like that, Ramon?
Yeah. Go to, if you are in your studio, you go to the icon that is kind of like a computer screen with a plus sign on it.
Yeah.
And then you click on that, and it's gonna open some options, and one of them says share screen.
But you did that from your cell phone?
No, I'm on my laptop.
And you was able to do it from your laptop?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Ramon said, "Ay, Ramon, por favor, coja morena, por favor. You're too old to be calling her Titi." Oh, it's called embajador. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, there is only one person that I usually call Titi, though.
It's not me.
Yeah, because I do have a Titi.
Embajador. Let me see.
Yeah, but that's up to her, Blood Moon. That's not what she
wanted.
wanted.
I didn't change my name yet.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The embajador is it has yellow lining, is white, black words with a cup of coffee next to it. Yep.
Okay. That
My
I don't know
father used
anything
to
about.
eat this too. Because he used to. That's how he made his hot chocolate. Yep. He would grate it on a cheese grater, and he would make his hot chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be like, no, I don't want that. Like when my mother used to buy the quick powder, he said, no, I don't care esa mierda. Well, okay. That's what he was particular about his stuff. Like when we used to when they used to be the game, because he's a big baseball fan, of course. Mm-hmm. And we had two TVs in the house. We had one in the living room and one in my room. And of course, you're not watching baseball in my room. Mm-hmm. And if my mother was watching her novelas or whatever was going on, he didn't watch the TV, so I would see him sitting there, lying in the bed, sitting there next to the radio, listening to the radio, the game on the radio. I was like, God damn, you listening on the radio? He was like, yeah, what you think? We didn't have TV when I was little. We used to have to listen to the game on the radio. I was like, God damn. I need to watch. If I'm going to, I can't listen to like TV. I need to watch it. That's like listening to videos. Embajador is for hot chocolate. So good. Okay, so it's only for hot chocolate? Because that's what I always saw him make, was the hot chocolate. Every morning, and make his hot chocolate. Mm. You sending each other messages? Oh, how cute. Do you use that Blood Moon or you use something else for hot chocolate? Like it's just the old way of eating stuff. Like, you know, like I tell people, like I used to like Hostess cupcakes and stuff like that. What's up from Rack Street? Gave you a sub. Thank you so much. I'll stop by next time again. Oh, Pure Mentality. Thank you so much. Thank you for subbing. Hit the like button. And yes, hopefully next time, because I'm probably gonna shut it down soon anyway. I got through most of the videos I was showing. Oh, now I want to follow Irby on IG. Oh. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Puro. Thank you so much. Let's see.
Good people, I'm going to drop down because this is like way past my bedtime. I usually, but this time of the time,
It's
I'm
Saturday.
asleep. So someone saying thank you.
It's Saturday.
I know, but but the thing is, I've gotten so used to going to bed at a certain time and waking up. And I've always been an early riser, even when I'm not working. I always get up
When
around
you
5 or
retire, that's
6
going to
o'clock in the
change.
morning.
When you retire, that's going to change. Man, that's going to feel good. You can wake up when you feel like it, go to sleep when you feel like it. Then you have to set a schedule to make sure that, you know, you're being, you know, active on that day. I drink Nesquik 38 hours. What? I am too Americanized to use Dominican products. You stupid. You sound like my mother. That's because you came here young. That's why. What is your IG, Titi? It's Titi Juju. Oh, Nesquik. That sounds good. You know what else? My mother used to buy Ovaltine. You guys don't like Ovaltine? I loved Ovaltine.
But you know,
You know,
but believe it or not,
I
I didn't think
remember.
about.
I know Ovaltine, but for some reason I never had it.
Never had Ovaltine?
I never had it when I was a kid. That's not what I will get. But I will see the commercials, but I never tried it. I guess I will have to now. I will have to go to the Mexican supermarket and see if they have it. Yeah.
I haven't seen. Well, I've seen it in HEB, but I haven't really seen Ovaltine. My mom made that too. What, Ovaltine or Nesquik? I used to like Ovaltine, but it doesn't taste as good. Gotcha. But I'm telling you, once they started changing the sweet stuff up is the sugar substitute that they started using in mass production. Because I tell people Twinkies doesn't taste the same the way they used to. Hostess cupcakes, soda changed completely. Coca-Cola and Pepsi changed. Oh, Ovaltine, okay, changed completely. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah, if I get it, I'll try to get it with no sugar. I'll try to get it the no
what,
sugar.
the soda?
Yeah.
You might as well drink it with it's worse to drink it without the sugar. You might as well drink it with the sugar. Yeah, you're not cutting calories. What happened?
I mean, there's always water or juice.
I drink water. I stopped drinking juice because of the sugar in it. So I drink mostly water, and sometimes I put lemon in it. But like once a year, I'll drink a can of soda. And when I drink it, I swear I feel like all my pores in my face are opening up when I drink a soda. Because it's been so long. She said, girl, I had a Twinkie today. It's not the same. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's not, even the cream is like disgusting. It's not good anymore. The zebra cakes taste the same. Oh no, I never ate Little Debbie's. Little Debbie's was for poor people, Irby. Let me stop. That's Little Debbie's. Drink water. Sugarless soda is disgusting. Yeah, it's bad for you, Ramon. You're better off drinking a regular soda.
Okay.
Yeah, you're better off drinking a regular soda. Don't substitute. Like when they say something is sugarless, it's always worse for you. They always say that there's hidden sugars in there. But I eat boring now. It's just that now I gotta work on getting it to make me lose weight. But I eat it's so boring, Ramon. Rice is a treat for me. Yo comía todos los días. Yeah, like I don't eat rice no more. Yeah, bread, all the carbs.
That one I do try to lay off of, but I can't.
That's what I'm saying. Especially if you're used to eating it every day. I was used to eating it every day. Twinkies and Wonder Bread are not owned by the same company. I figured that, and they changed the recipe up, just like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Kentucky Fried Chicken used to be the bomb, and they switched that up.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, they call it KFC now. They can't
I
even call
haven't
it
had Kentucky Fried.
Huh?
I
I
haven't had
haven't
that
had
in a long
any
time.
I haven't had any KFC in years.
I haven't either, and I know one located close to where I live, but I haven't been there in years.
Mm. I when it became
Well,
KFC.
the KFC basically tastes the same as Pica Pollo.
No, Pica Pollo's better.
I've had Pica Pollo, and it kind of tastes the same, even though it's supposed to be this secret recipe.
KFC. Well, at least maybe where I was at, and especially they got one over here that I never even thought about eating there. But when I was still in the Bronx, I ate KFC and it was so greasy and it was disgusting. I said never again.
Because outside of the DR, it's never the same. It's like trying to have mofongo here in the States. It's all dry and it doesn't have any real taste. Even if it's made by Puerto Ricans, it doesn't taste the same. For some reason, mofongo doesn't taste good outside of the island for whatever reason.
Well, I wouldn't know. Popeyes is good, Blood Moon, and Chick-fil-A is even better. But I heard that Chick-fil-A is not really chicken anymore. I don't know. Those Christian people are not feeding us real chicken. But Chick-fil-A is addictive too if they sprinkle it with crack. I'm being sarcastic. Where do they sell Pica Pollo? I think he's just talking about. I guess we're not over here. They don't sell Pica Pollo.
Oh, no, yeah, I was talking about when I had it in back on the DR.
Okay.
Well, in any case, have a good night, people, and thank you very much. I'm gonna drop.
Good night, Jose. Thank you for stopping by.
Hey, take care, man. We'll talk later on. All right.
Look, he said thank you.
Dominicans, well, no, Dominicans make mango.
I was gonna say, wait. I'm gonna start an argument now because I've been seeing it online. Dominicans make the best mofongo, right? So I see Puerto Ricans always saying that Dominicans bit off of their mofongo. That mofongo is a Puerto Rican dish, not Dominican.
It is. I
thought it was both.
Always been a Puerto Rican thing.
I thought
maybe
it was
Dominicans might make it, and that's fine. But mofongo is a Puerto Rican thing.
Okay, I always see them online arguing about it. Pica Pollo is Chino, not Dominican. Dominicans make both.
Well, maybe Dominicans make both, just like Dominicans now they make alcapurrias and bacalaitos. Because if you go around the island and you go to alcapurria, see, yeah. That's frita. That's kind of like the same thing as what you call quipe. It's a fritter. It's a fritter, something that
Yeah,
you get.
I don't like that. Yeah, I know what that is. It's PR, but Dominicans make it really good. Okay, so she's not claiming the dish, but I see that that's a little back and forth banter on TikTok.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a diaspora. It's one of those diaspora wars where diaspora Puerto Ricans go back and forth with diaspora Dominicans when it comes to certain foods, and somebody thinks that they invented it, or it's kind of like trying to say that sancocho is a Puerto Rican thing. We have our version of sancocho, and Dominicans they make sancocho too. It might not be exactly the same thing, but I know that the Colombians make their version of sancocho. But I remember when I was dating a Haitian, and she was telling me that Haitians invented sancocho, and that was an argument.
They're another group too that claim they invent everything. Ellos son igual que the African Americans. Ellos inventaron todo. Any salsa.
Yeah, I remember that was an argument that I had with her, talking about that they invented sancocho. No, they didn't. They might make it. They might make their own version of it. But I don't think. But I don't think that they invented sancocho. That's something that one will have to do research on, because they
don't even season the same way. So how would they say that they invented it? Tell Ramon how to pronounce Haitian. Say Haitian, Ramon.
Haitian. That's how I say it.
SH. Put an SH there.
Haitiana. Haitiana. That's how I say it.
Say H. I didn't even catch that. Blamu.
No, I don't say it the way you use. I can't.
No,
That's like
it's one of those words.
I can't say it. I can't say it like that. I say Haitian or Haitian.
It sounds like you're saying hating now. Now that I'm paying attention, it sounds like you're saying hating. Hating.
No, or Haitiano, Haitiana. I can say that, but the way you say it, it doesn't come out right for me.
Oh man, yeah, like Cubans make ajiaco, right? And I was like, oh, I like sancocho better because ajiaco is really soupy and sancocho is more hearty, you know.
Yeah, it's a little more. It has more consistency to it because
yeah, I like it. I like it better.
Yeah, it's not so liquid.
Yeah. No, SH, not CH. Haitian. It's like shut up.
No,
Shout.
No, it's more like an SH, like an SH sound, not a CH.
So that means that Blood Moon says Haitian.
Haitian.
Ramon says Haitian and Blood Moon says Haitian.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. You people. Or see. I love the food though from the 3 Islands. I love the food. I love the variety.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And the bacalaitos, oh man, I remember going to school and we used to have to go up the hill to the school I used to go to, and the lady used to sell her bacalaitos out the window. Coffee, café con leche, and bacalaitos fresh right there. On our way there, we used to eat. That's what we used to have.
You will have bacalaito for breakfast?
She used to cook it right out her window. She
Really?
lived she was like on the ground floor. Yeah, she used to make it in the morning.
Really? Hopefully we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, you're talking about bacalaitos. That's a Puerto Rican dish.
Yeah.
Cubans make it, but it don't look good. You guys make it flat. Cubans make it like it looks like a muffin. I mean, it's okay, but I prefer the Puerto Rican way. No, she used to make it. I don't know why that was her. Why she was selling it in the morning. I hear what you're saying. That shouldn't be breakfast, but that's what she made. I guess, people used to always pass her window to go to school or go to catch a train and go to work, and I guess that was quick for her to make.
Maybe the bacalao about this a little bit different. Lomo, we already went over that. The whole sancocho thing. No.
Other countries call it. But Cubans make ajiaco, but it's not sancocho.
We have been making our sancocho forever for a long
Puerto
time.
Ricans make it, yeah, but Cubans make it. It's soupy. It's ajiaco. I think Colombians make.
My grandma will make sancocho. It was great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I pronounce Haitian like the French. Oh, that's how they say Haitian. Haitian. I didn't know that.
How do the French pronounce it?
I thought it would be with the SH. Haitian.
Well, the way that the French will pronounce Haitian will be Saint Domingue or something, because that's what they call
it. How would they say Haitian?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I don't
know. They will pronounce it.
Blamo said like the French say it.
Yes. Puerto Ricans, we call it sancocho. And Dominicans call it sancocho. Is pretty much, I think it's pretty much the same thing. I know that the Haitians, they have their own sancocho. Colombians have their own sancocho. There is a variation. Mm-hmm. That's how it comes out of me. That's the way it comes out of me. Haitian. That's how I can say it.
You're hating. Ramon is hating. Oh my God. Oh no, the T sounds different. Yeah, that sounds like he's saying hating. Like I'm hating that. Hating this.
Okay, I'll just say IT then.
IT. Like tomorrow making arroz con gandules. I love that.
Bloodman, you live in New York. If you've never heard about Puerto Rican sancocho, you're capping. You're in New York. Puerto Ricans making sancocho. Really?
She lives in Little Santo Domingo. They don't have no. Not a big Puerto Rican population. I think the big Puerto Rican population is in Brooklyn now. They said it's still in the Bronx, but it must be certain parts of the Bronx.
Yeah, I hear that they have been moving. They have been moving around because of the whole gentrification thing.
From Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Or in the Bronx too. They got gentrified by the Dominicans.
Well, maybe in Washington Heights, something like that.
Well, that wasn't a big Puerto Rican enclave, Washington Heights, but the Bronx definitely was. The Bronx definitely huge. When I was growing up, it was all Puerto Rican.
Okay.
And he said there are 0 Puerto Rican restaurants.
Look up Lomond. Look up Lomond.
It's true.
There's 0 Puerto Rican restaurants
It's true.
around
It's
here.
true.
Come on.
I think even the Cuchi Fritos in the Bronx are owned by Dominicans now. They're not even Puerto Rican owned anymore. They have their own enclaves. Yeah, I'm serious. Because the Bronx used to be full of Cuchi Fritos.
There are certain places in Puerto Rico where the Dominicans are taking over too. Because if you go out of the airport, there is an area called Piñones, which is an area where there are different establishments where you can get all kinds of fritters, you can get food, you can get the bacalaitos the way we make them, and there's different types of alcapurria the way we make them, kind of like the quipe and other things, and now little by little that area is in front of the beach. That area, little by little, now you drive past that and you can hear bachata. You hear a lot of bachata music sound, and it used to be salsa and merengue, but now you hear a lot of bachata music, and that's because now more and more there are more and more Dominicans in the area.
I was wondering because I went to wash my car today, and they have music. You know, when you go, I go through the car wash where you go through the the car wash, and then you come out and you vacuum your rugs, your seats, and you dry out your car. And they were blasting music, and somebody was blasting bachata today. I was like, I think I ain't Dominicans here, or is it because Mexicans love bachata too? Maybe some Mexicans are blasting.
I don't know, because here the Mexicans, they listen to their own thing, the regional northern Mexican music. They're not so much into bachata. You do hear a lot of reggaeton. A lot of the Hispanics, you hear a lot of reggaeton coming, blasting out of the cars here. And
they like bachata here.
to respond to Irby, Introvert, is it true they're deporting Dominicans in Puerto Rico ICE agents? A few months back, when they started with the race, Homeland Security agents, they will be chasing after Dominicans and arresting them and getting them deported. But I haven't heard so much from that right now, because it's just they're just not welcome doing that. When they start chasing after the Dominicans, you hear all of the Puerto Ricans yelling at them and cussing them out, and we make it very hostile for them. We have our our issues. Yeah, sometimes we have our little differences with Dominicans on the island, but when we see them being chased by Homeland Security agents, we start cussing them out, and we don't interrupt. We can't do that, but we start yelling at them, jeering at them, cussing them out, and telling them, "Hey, come on, run away!" And so we start telling them, because sometimes if they're not covered in the front of the car, the person in the car can just take off, and they're not gonna chase them because they're not equipped to. They don't have that type of vehicles to be chasing after people in a car.
I wonder what it's going to be like now, Ramon. Now that they got rid of the Wicked Witch, even though they're going to put somebody else on there, they said that they went from bad to worse. But I'm not hearing too much ICE stuff now. But I wonder if there's going to be some reform now.
We're distracted with what's going on with Iran. I don't know if the ICE agents are doing their thing, but because some of them are under contract, and I don't know if they're actually even getting paid, because there was that shutdown that froze up the money that they were using supposedly to pay them, and to pay them salaries, and to pay for healthcare, and to pay for the bonus money that they were supposed to get, that many of them they're not really getting, and maybe they're getting a little part of it, but it's already being taxed. And some of them, they're not gonna last the full 5 years required on the contract, and if they quit before that, they're gonna have to get that money back, even what has already been taxed. And they're gonna have to give him with interest, so they're gonna end up in debt. Some of them, because and well, they're getting what they're getting.
Yeah, but I'm saying reform now. They're not going to be able to be like, how they used to run down on people like that, because
no.
It's true.
Many of them already left Minnesota. If they're leaving Minnesota, then maybe they're more likely leaving other parts of the country. But I will have to catch up on what's the status on that, because we're so freaking distracted with the whole thing with Iran. Then
exactly.
Our attention has been deviated from the whole
every week. Faithfully, every week there's something new going on. Every
The last thing that I learned was that bitch Christine Owen was fired. I mean, the puppy killer.
Yeah, but I heard that. I think she's gonna start. She's gonna try to. I don't know. She's gonna throw other people under the bus. But I just hope it changes, because, like I said, their tactics was the problem. That's what one of the congressmen said. He said, "We all agree that we should get rid of the illegal immigrants. It's the way that you're doing it."
Well, that's what Border Patrol is for. But
the focus wasn't on criminals. They weren't focusing on criminals.
No, they were focusing on the easy targets. They were focusing on the easy targets, on people that had predictable patterns, that will go to work, that will take their kids to school. That's what they were. They were targeting. They weren't targeting anybody who was actually committing a major crime or a felony or something like that. They were picking on the easy targets. Sometimes school kids, because some of those cowards, they will chase down school kids all the way home.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why are you chasing down kids? They're under 18, so they got parents. Wouldn't you want their parents? So you can deport them all at the same time, or you're just going to deport kids and not tell the parents what happened to the kids? Like that should be illegal. Look at Irby said Pam Bondi next. I hope so. And after Pam Bondi, it should be the other chick, the one at the White House speaker, because she used to be entertaining too. Because I was just like, I don't know, she just talk out her ass. Pam Bondi was entertainment. I mean, she's entertaining though.
Well, Pam Bondi shouldn't be in jail, because most likely she may have lied on their oath.
Oh, I'm sure she did. Her theatrics were classic. I'm telling you, and criminal at the same time.
Yeah.
Her theatrics were. I was like, she's like, I am not going to answer this, and I'm going to. It seemed like a telenovela, like you was watching a novela.
All the dramatics.
Oh yeah, I was just like, wow.
The dramatic shit. Yeah.
I said, is this real? That's what I'm saying. I get intrigued because it's theatrics. I've never knew that people moved like that, like in Congress, and I didn't know they talk like that. The presidents, I never heard them talk like that.
Yeah.
I should have uploaded Hillary talking about, when they were asking her questions too. But Hillary was very professional. Even if she was lying, it was very professional. She spoke like an attorney. I think Bill had attorneys there. I didn't really see any attorneys around Hillary, but Bill definitely had 2 attorneys there. But Hillary was talking like, she would look at you like, are you really asking me this question?
Yeah.
And then she would answer it very.
Okay, but did the broadcast the hearings with Hillary? Because my understanding,
the Ben whatever dude, he did. He's the one that did that, but he wasn't supposed to do that. He wasn't supposed to do it while they were having it, because eventually they were going to put it out there the way it's out there now. But he was doing it during the hearing,
because it could have been edited.
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, because normally we're not privy to all of that. We're not privy to all that information. They do edit. They put out what they want to put out.
Right.
But I don't know. Bill Clinton, está ahí, parece que tiene Parkinson's or algo, and but I think by next year he's going to be like Biden. So it's just like, if you're trying to run these people down and get them for something, you got to get them now. And then what? Well, how long are they going to jail for? How long are you going to put them in jail for? Like, you know, all these people are old now. Like, you know.
Yeah, but that's not an excuse. The fact that they're old, that's not an excuse for not.
It's not as an excuse, but it's taking so long. It's taking so long. Like, you know, these people already got one foot in the grave.
Mhm.
Especialmente el Agent Orange que tú estás hablando. So, you know, what are they waiting for? Wars, you know, Christy Nome, you know, all these distractions, and it's enough time to extract things, you know. You could write a whole new book. How many pages was in there? They could write a whole new book. Move stuff around, edit it. So by the time, let's say they finally be like, yeah, these are the files. Everybody can view it. It's gonna be all edited. It'll probably be boring because I think everybody's in there. I think everybody's in there.
Yeah.
Everybody. Oh, you know who I heard talk today? Dame Dash. And Dame Dash was like, you know who's not in the Epstein files? Me.
Who's mad at
He said, I'm not in it. Who's not in those files? He said he's not. And he said he's glad that he distanced himself from Jay-Z.
What will he be in there? I mean,
Because he used to hang around those circles with Puffy and all of them. I mean, he was in those circles.
Well, maybe Diddy should be in those pages because he
yeah, I'm sure he's in there. And I think they're trying to say he's going to get off early.
I remember reading about it back in the late 90s when Trump used to be hanging around the rappers of the time, and Diddy was being yeah, those two knowing each other from way back for years. And
you know, Irby, they're saying Obama is not in there, but I think he's in there too. He's also in there too. He was with Aaliyah. She was underage. Yo, that part I know. A lot. I mean, according to a lot of sources, Flana, a bunch of people were with Aaliyah, and she was underage. Supposedly, Jay-Z was with her too. And that's another thing. Like these women are like pass-arounds. These women are passed. Aaliyah was one. I forgot what other one I was watching on. Who was I watching? I was watching somebody else on TV the other day who was in the industry, and she was like a pass around as well. So what's the difference?
Yeah,
he might as well be on the file because he's not in there. I mean, the file is the big thing right now. So if he ain't in it, you know, he feel like he's vindicated from any wrongdoing that they would ever accuse him of. Aaliyah wasn't. Look at R. Kelly. R. Kelly didn't go to jail for Aaliyah. He went to jail for some other chicks.
Yeah.
Pobrecita, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and they took advantage of her.
He did that to himself. He did that to himself.
Yeah, but he's not in jail for her.
No,
Jay-Z didn't go in jail for her. Dame Dash didn't go in jail for her. And they were all doing it. Look at Foxy Brown too. Jay-Z was dealing with her too, and she was 14, 15 as well. That's crazy. And that was like the thing back then. They were all older dudes messing around with younger girls. That's fucking crazy. And then, you know, where the parents at? You learn your oh, he's gonna give me a contract. I think you know who too, Fuana? Rihanna too. That's rumor. Jay-Z and Rihanna.
Oh yeah. That one I have heard. I don't. I've never heard about necessarily Jay-Z and Aaliyah, but Jay-Z and Rihanna, because he had to do with signing her to a contract. So I don't know what she had to do.
She was a victim in the industry. There were so many victims, Irby. She was just the one we know about. Think in my head. She was the one that we know about. It was a lot of them. They were all young. They were all young. You know, and the Harvey Weinsteins and all these people in the entertainment business was able to take advantage.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to take advantage. Oh, Ramon, it's going to be 3. I'm going to do 5 more minutes. It's 3 hours and a half. ¿Y tengo un sueño?
No, that's all right. That's all right.
But I like doing it on Saturdays, though, because at least I can stay. And I'm getting better. I came on a little bit earlier because I told Flan at 10 o'clock, but I was 30 minutes late. But next time I'm going to try to come on like 10 o'clock exactly. 9 o'clock exactly.
If you start your live stream at like midnight, I might be asleep already. I might be already going to jail, so I'm not gonna have the energy to
Look at Philando, the time change. So what is it, Philando? It's 2 o'clock now? It's going on 2 o'clock? Because over here it's going on 1 o'clock.
Well, the difference should be reduced by 1 hour. Like if we're here, then there should be a 1 hour difference with the East Coast.
Yeah, but she already hit that 1 hour, right? So I think at 1 o'clock it's going to be 2 o'clock for us once it finally hits. They allowed all that disgusting.
Maybe it already did. Maybe it already did when it hit 12. Maybe
no, I think it changes at 1 or 2. They allowed that disgusting man to do all those things to young girls. I have known for 30 years that R. Kelly was disgusting.
Well, there was a lot of talk about R. Kelly and him wandering around high schools, him being a grown man and meeting high school girls. Yeah. I've been hearing a lot of talk about him. He liked the teenagers with the acne.
But that was like real. You didn't have to be a singer to do that. I saw that when I was in high school. There was a security guard when I went to high school that he used to like a friend of mine that we were in school since the 2nd grade and we went to high school together. And we started there and everything. And then I saw her like a couple of months later. Tenía una barriga. And I'm like, yo, 14 years old.
Oh, shoot.
And I'm like, you know what? She said, yeah, that's my baby father right there. That's who she been seeing. It was a security guard. The security guard looked like he was, to me, he looked like he was older to be our father. He looked like he was in his 30s. And he worked in the school, okay? And I grew up around the crack era when drug dealer guys used to have girlfriends in high school.
Huh.
That was the norm.
Okay.
So, I mean, R. Kelly just happened to be a celebrity, but they were doing it. Yes, Irby, I'm about to go to bed. They were doing it. So, you know. I think it wasn't demonized back then. All that shit started now. I don't think it was demonized back then. Like
no. Back in the day, hearing about it, but it's like kind of like an open secret that a lot of people knew about it, but they wouldn't talk about it, and they wouldn't.
It wasn't It wasn't seen bad. Like parents weren't calling the cops on.
No.
On their
daughter's boyfriend. Of course not.
Especially if he had money.
Yeah.
And you know, you guys were kind of poor, and he was that drug dealer, and he had money. He would hit everybody off, and no, nobody said nothing.
Yeah.
I seen it all the time. I'm like, so now it's like a bad thing, but they've been there. Now I'm not talking to Leah R. Kelly, because R. Kelly was in his 20s and he married a 14-year-old, and she looked like a 14-year-old at the time, you know?
Yeah.
She didn't look like, you know, she wasn't young that looked old. She was young that looked even younger than what she was. Like,
Yeah.
No tenía ni cuerpecito ni nada. She was like, it's like she didn't even go through puberty yet.
Yeah, like she hadn't developed yet.
Right. So
like, really slim. I mean, and that seemed cute, but maybe it was because she hadn't developed. So,
and that's even worse.
Yeah. And,
that's even worse.
And already with somebody having sex.
And with that, you know, again, like when I was talking about the trans kids and stuff, that goes back to the parents too. Like, dude, you know what your daughter's doing at that age. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? So tú la vendiste ella for that man. No, that's not good. That's no amount of money. No way.
Yeah.
No way. Then the kid becomes the breadwinner, so you're pimping out your kid so you can get money. Just like the girls with the R. Kelly thing. But I'm not denying what R. Kelly did, but why did the parents let all that shit happen?
Yeah, the parents didn't help.
Because if they're underage, you have some sort of control. At some point, you have control. You can call the cops at that time.
Yeah.
Because R. Kelly wasn't running no police departments. He didn't have people like that. He was an entertainer. He wasn't in. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that kind of power to control, you know, law enforcement and shit like that. So they could have called the cops. Why you didn't call the cops?
Right.
You know,
right.
They promised your kid a record deal or something. You saw dollar signs.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a thing. There are certain.
You know, I blame the parents. I'm not absolving him.
No.
You gotta blame the parents too when they're that young. Like, what do you do?
There are parents that they have certain dreams and aspirations, and then they go on and live vicariously through their kids. I mean,
That's
because
fine,
they-
but you don't want your kid to get, molested at the same time.
Mhm.
You know, that happens to these, little boys in the industry and stuff. But their parents know they're getting raped by another man, and you're turning a blind eye because you want money.
Mhm.
You want your kid to go through mental trauma, because you want money.
Mm.
Like, I was thinking about that earlier. I said no kids deserve to suffer in this world. They shouldn't be brought into this world to suffer. No child. And it's a shame that there's certain kids that go through stuff. No child should go through that ever.
No, they shouldn't. No, they
Ever.
shouldn't.
How is this? Oh, okay. I hate when I get those stupid alerts. Let me see what time it is. 3:32. What time it is? 1 o'clock. Yeah, I'm gonna shut it down.
All
But
right.
before I shut it down, let me play this last part, my little intro outro, because
Uh-huh.
I know that I'm gonna get copyrighted and I'm gonna have to strike this off. But I wanted to hear because I didn't get to play it last time. It's 3 a.m. now, yeah. So that means that your time went ahead. It's gonna go ahead for us at 2 o'clock. Because mine says 1 o'clock right now. Okay, Blood Moon, so it changed for you now. 3 a.m. You guys lost an hour already. We still have our hour left. All right, before I leave, before we shut it down, let me play my little cheap outro. Hold on. Where we at? Okay.
Hey. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's nice.
With the miru, miti tutti, mi tutti.
Yeah.
I gotta learn the words to that.
All right.
You lost an hour as well. It isn't 2 o'clock yet now. No, not yet. It's gonna change at 2. You're 2 hours ahead of us right now. It's 3 o'clock. But yeah, so I have to edit that out of the last live, that part out. Oh, I think I did already. I don't know. But all right, Ramon, I'm gonna shut it down. Thank you so much for stopping by and keeping me company, because I was able to stay a little bit longer.
No
myself-
problem. Thank you for having me on your live. This was fun. Then we need to do this again soon.
Yeah, give me some topics, Ramon, so I can talk about. Because what takes me so long to get this together is like, what videos do I want to talk about?
Yeah.
Because every time I look, I swear, Ramon, I had over 50 videos. I was like, oh my god, I gotta cut it down. I said, I'm trying to save too much, because you can only squeeze in but so much during a
Definitely.
live stream, but it's too much going on at the same time that you want to talk about.
All right. So we'll talk again soon. I mean, when it comes to topics, that sometimes I come up with something and I send it to you on Instagram. So maybe that will help. So we'll keep in touch and we'll talk again soon. Thanks for having me. And
Thank
shout
you
out
for
to the
stopping
chat.
by.
Shout out to the chat. All of y'all, have a good one. Have a good night, and talk to you later.
Thank you, Ramon.
Bye.
Buenas noches. Yeah, the time changes in Texas. I'm trying to tell you, it changes at 2 o'clock. It's not 2 o'clock for us yet. Once it hits 2, it's going to move forward to 3 o'clock. You guys hit 2 o'clock before we did. That's why it's 3 o'clock for you now. Buenas noches. Good night, everybody. Thank you, everyone who stopped by. I don't want to mention everybody's name because I'm probably going to forget right now, but I appreciate everyone for stopping by and hanging out with me, and you know, just shooting the ish, and hopefully we can do this another time. And I'll try to entertain Blood Moon and not keep it at political. We'll see what else is out there, but so far this is really what's circulating through me through the social media. So good night, everybody. Sleep tight. You lost an hour, so you'll be waking up an hour earlier, even though you lost that hour. Bye, everyone.